how's it going? It's now tomorrow here. Thanks for coming through. Like the radio upon coming in. Just a couple seconds and that way. See, the problem that we run into around here is that we keep having the same problem. Because we keep trusting the same people. You know, the same people who look like us, but they ain't got the same kind of end goals that we have. And just given this idea a couple of weeks ago about somebody who just went through another screwed up situation that he could have not actually went through. Because, you know, he trusted one of these, you know, family members he years. But these type of things go on a lot. You have to realize as a person who have their stuff together, people are going to be hunting you down. You have to realize that the person who did things right, you know, the proper way, there's a lot of people who don't want to see that happen. And they're going to be super pissed at the fact that you ain't got any of the problems that they got. But most of these people don't understand things that all the things that they do in their life gets them a certain type of result. And they keep doing the same thing within the same environment with the same people. Somehow going to get them a different result. And that's just not how the way things work. This is why I have a definite level of hatred for people who claim they from the streets. I don't want to hear that shit. Because, you know, it's the same with the game niggas. Because, you know, everything cannot be defined and there's nothing but chaos until they want to cash in. I don't want to be around shit like that. I'm not you. Why would I need to talk to DJ Cool about some equipment? My point is to be heard, not to actually be seen. Man. I don't need that clown ass nigga. So it's just that you have to realize that the way things are going in society and life right now, you as a person who did it right, you're going to be running into a lot of problems. A lot of people is going to try to emotionally try to get in your head and do all this other shit because they actually need forgiveness right now. They need for that track record to not really exist. And that's not something that you can just let go that easily. And you shouldn't. Because these people only want to be accepted just so long that you don't bring up the path that they're on or specific things that they are doing. And here's the thing. Everybody who's on that street shit, really fucked their lives up. I'm talking about the for real dudes who was actually in that shit. They really fucked their lives up. So when you have a bunch of people trying to get by on the persona of said things, like I really don't rock with them because we know what these things have done within this society and in the environment. What's going on, Mike B? So we have to realize that you got to draw hard lines in the sand, man. And you know, obviously, I run a business, and I run across these people all the time. These men and women all the time, and they have the same sort of behavior statistics and the same sorts of outcomes to the actual behavior. Because the outcomes of their behavior is to get over. Now they talk all that brother shit until it comes time for them to start paying up and all that kind of stuff. So there's a different level of attitude when it comes for asking or even expecting. But then there's a different level when it comes to actually paying people back. And that's kind of where we're at right now. Now you have to realize that for me and me personally, this is what I use to grade people. And I have to be able to grade people because I want a certain result that's in the positive. But in Black America, they make the person who wants all these normal things like peace and order. They make those people to be the enemy of all. And what you got to know is this is the rules of how you judge these people. It's very clear. From this point forward, I don't want to hear shit about what fucking whore you smashed back in the day, so that way your self-esteem is so fucking high that you think you're running shit around here with no accomplishments. I don't want to hear dumbass shit like that. We know what the actual conditions of this community is based on. It's the outcome of game, right? We know what the outcomes of the boys are. You know, not being raised by fathers or whatnot. We know how these people treated certain stratus of people. We know that. So for me and me personally, anybody who harkens back to that life, I want to see some motherfucking track record. I want to see your fucking prison rap sheet. I want to see all this shit that you've done in that fucking community. I want to see what it was like before you was there, and I want to see what the fuck it was like after your ass left. And if the shit ain't no fucking benefit, why would you be bragging on some shit that didn't benefit anybody but yourself? But at the end of the day, they expect us to just forgive people who act that way. What it is, it's a giant shit test to see how weak of a human being you are to allow somebody to claim something that didn't really help anybody in the past as the verification of their actual accomplishment and benefits to society. We know that stuff's not true, right? So I don't want to hear about, since you're so dumb of a human being, that you was chosen by a woman to help her maintain her environment by giving her a fucking child and you end up on child support. Like, dude, I don't want to hear no clown ass shit like that. Some of the dumbest shit known to mankind, and we got to grow the fuck up and grow the fuck out of this dumbass shit. Because it didn't work. If you reform, you reform. I get it. But don't come around this motherfucker with this street shit. Because street motherfuckers are not to be trusted. Period. This is 2020. We shouldn't be talking about the goddamn streets. Second thing, man. You got to stop using the word hustle in all its shapes, forms, and fashions. I don't deal with men who call themselves hustlers of any fucking kind. Again, just like the street dudes, a hustler is there to wow you out with some mouthpiece shit and not really be around when it comes for things that actually work. That's what hustlers actually do. They actually don't do all the things that they say they do, and it breeds a level of mistrust within the environment because they just there for the money. They'll say anything for the money. They'll do anything for the money, and they really don't give a damn about the outcome of the results because they know you, as a decent person, won't put them in the ground, which is what they deserve. They know you won't do that, right? And so this is why you got to stop being susceptible to people in the way that they carry themselves out. Again, I don't want to be around no fucking game nigga. That's the third motherfucker. A game nigga, a nigga all about game. Listen, game is about deceiving motherfuckers and deception. I'm not about deception. Again, these are all the same type of people within this environment. The fourth person I don't fuck with is anybody who claimed that they got the answers to this relationship shit through game, which is a goddamn clown shit. Because you can't claim to have the answers to something that is currently ongoing within the environment. If you got so much game, how come you ain't in using your mouthpiece to go in front of a fucking judge and to get shit changed so that way ain't nobody really being affected out of it? But we're actually also are sitting up here talking about benefits within the actual system that doesn't even exist. Right along with these people right here, I don't like being around older individuals who don't shut this bullshit down as quickly as it show up. Again, just like all these other people in the list, it's kind of like an enabling system. Like most of these dudes who are compromised over women, who want you to save them and all that shit, they've already have made their choice and decision that you're going to be the fall guy for people within this environment. And this is how come I don't even fuck with older motherfuckers all that much. Because I believe in disrespecting the fuck out of old people if they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Or if they're letting some shit happen within an environment that shouldn't be happening. I don't play that silent old man shit. Fuck you. You need to speak the fuck up. That's why your ass is older. So that way your ass can take some fucking responsibility around this fucking place and stop expecting to be treated with some level of respect because you're fucking older. The next person on this list is the person who can't maintain relationships. And these people can't maintain relationships because they're part of the group of any of the 4 or 5 people that I just mentioned before. Because I care about structure and order within an environment. I'm not trying to bring around bullshit or nonsense as to be an actual automatic caveat within the environment. I think that's crazy. The next person on this list, I don't want to hear about how poor black you are. And if I do, I want to see a stack of fucking bodies of how you got these motherfuckers to fuck up out of here who actually fucked this place up in the first place. Because if I don't see that shit, or if I don't see you speaking out or trying to get these motherfuckers up out of here, I'm going to think you're just as full of shit as everybody else on this goddamn list. You got to stop thinking that having these people around is actually going to benefit somebody. It don't. You see, the thing that we want to do hold on a second. All right, there we go. What's going on, soul provider? All right, so this is why you have to put order first, right? Now you have to put order first so that way things can work right. And you can't talk about putting order kind of like somewhere down the line, because all the people who should have been exited out of the environment from the first beginning will still be there by the time that you get to institutional. And you have to recognize that a lot of these people only benefit because there's chaos in the environment. Going on, Marco Grande. And going on, Melody. Like, these people are enemy of order for a reason. They want to put all of these artificial barriers in front of you, like, or try to move your direction toward another group of people in society before you have order in house, and that's crazy. So you have to realize that these people don't want order because they need chaos. They really need it to actually live and breathe. But they think that their survival is actually tantamount to the environment at the expense of everybody else within the environment. And I just don't think that's the case. So this is why you have this. I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. It's going to be called Man of Spirit 4.0. But you need to understand here about why this stuff doesn't work. Now, all these things in society affects other people in society, feminism and all the while. But you have to recognize that it affects people differently because they have instituted a level of order among themselves. And people within this environment, they're kind of against it because a level of disorder is what led them to power in the first place.
So let's talk about the next person on this list. For men. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Manosphere 4.0 is all it's the Injustice Society. That's what 4.0 is. It's the Injustice Society. All these motherfuckers who came together to try to reset the conversation. That's what Manosphere 4.0 is. I'm gonna talk about that tomorrow. Yeah, but the next person on this list is the person who don't have on this list is the person who uses religion to further their end. Now, me as a person who is no longer part of the Christian church, I still have a depth and respect for people who are Christian. I'm talking about actual Christians, not the people who just want to use Christianity in their own personal way and expect Christian forgiveness. Like, that's a different group of people. The same thing that goes for Muslims too. Like, for me and me personally, I don't want to hear your fucking mouth if you're an ex-Muslim. The reason why your ass is not Muslim anymore is because you couldn't hold the standard. And most of these people who used to be part of, the nation, they want to claim the nation on some pro-black shit. Like, dude, I can't fuck with that shit. And it's like these people make it look like you have to tolerate their presence or there'll be chaos and order. And again, these aren't people who we should tolerate around. Like, there is like not that many ex-Muslim dudes who's actually out here doing great shit. There ain't no ex-Muslims that I know of who's coming out here telling these people to stop claiming X, Y, and Z. What's going on, Black? Because a religion itself is a set of disciplines that you have to exhibit. So if you no longer exhibit the actual standards of that religion, then why would you be trying to claim that you're an ex something? You just don't, it just don't apply to you. That's why I get along with fundamentalist Christians and fundamentalist Muslims better than any other group of people. Why? Because I know as long as I'm amongst a group of pressable people, I won't have any problem. Because I don't want to give people the exact same type of problems that I could run into. Therefore, that's kind of how that works. And the last person on this list is the go along but to get along type guy. The go along to get along type guy sees all this stuff going on within the environment and still think that peace supports both sides of the argument equally, when we know that is not the case. Yeah, that's the fence sitter. Fence sitter is far worse than the people who are actually doing wrong within the environment, because they'll change their stripes no matter what actual environment they end up in. They don't mind changing their stripes. So that's it for the men for me. Pretty much, it's the same undisciplined person over and then over and over again. They just found something that stuck. Thanks for the cash out, Marco. All right. And so as for the women, for me, the women in the environment. To me, it's pretty easy because women don't have any power. But there's just certain groups of people that I just do not like. Period. Number one is a feminist. We know what the feminist job here to do is to break up the family, and they want all the benefits of family, but they want to do it in a horrific manner to which it supports nobody but their own end. Now, I'm okay with a woman being single and being a feminist. They're really not hurting anybody. They just got some crazy views that are just not going to pan out. I'm okay with that. But, once you become a misunderstander of how the actual birth system works, so that way you can get a child and end up wrecking and ruining the child, then I got a problem with it. The next type of woman that I really don't like in this environment is the new christened feminine woman. Like I really don't like being around these fake ass people, man. It, they're worse than the game dudes to me. And it's not because of how they may act. They think they could just turn strag on, strag off, depending on the man, if they want to quote unquote submit to them. That type of nonsense. So for me, a woman shouldn't have no problem treating most men the same if they actually have respect for them. Now, if you don't have respect for them, that's cool too, but don't try to play like you have this respect for only the man that you date. Like that type of stupid shit. Like, I don't want to be around women like that. The second type of woman that I just do not like being around is the one who is so quiet when nonsense is amiss, but acting like they're down with actual order, depending on what type of situation they're in. Some people call this the social chameleon, but like me, I just don't allow this type of nonsense around me. So those are the things that I just don't like. I mean, the rest of the other types of women that I don't like, I don't think I have to go over because they're just too easy to dodge. Because if you're over 40 years old in this environment where you have infinite choice and you're unmarried, I don't want to hear anything that comes out of your mouth. Actually, if you're above 30, I really don't have anything to conversate with you about. Because there ain't no decent woman out there over the age of 30, not in this environment. With the level of infinite choice out here, it's nearly impossible that I should be talking to you about anything. Now, we'll do business with you if you are a professional. But other than that, I have nothing to say to these people offline. Because the only thing they do is they keep up a whole bunch of nonsense and drama within the environment, thanks to the actual sexless men that they didn't feed within the environment. Sorry, that's just the way it is. So let's talk about these Fencesitters. Because there's a lot of decent presenting people within the environment that nobody actually addresses. it's not like these people are weak because they want peace, but it's actually what they want peace with that I actually have a problem with. Yeah. So it's like when I used to go to church, like you used to see these people all the time. Like they would sit back and they would watch abject evil going on and they would say absolutely nothing. But the moment you raise your hand to strike down true evil, that's when their mouth came open. It's like these people wanted peace for the wrong reasons at the wrong time. That is kind of like a bellwether for like fence sitting people. And you have to recognize that within this environment, things are very binary. Like you have a lot of men, even in the manosphere, who keeps up a whole bunch of nonsense no matter where they go. And those things are just not needed right. And you truly have to get for like these fence sitting people because the men and the women, they kind of do it kind of different. Like in this environment here called the manosphere, like, you'll see women that you think are decent human beings, and then they end up in the chat of like Platinum Elite or like Dita Rail and shit. Which they can do whatever they want, but you're looking kind of crazy if if you're seen in those type of places, but you want to present yourself as feminine, okay, everywhere. That's the type of stuff that I don't understand, man. It's like these people are not here for good reasons, but you in there, like, letting people know, like it don't make any sense. It really don't. And it's like, look, I'm not trying to police where you go. I'm not, but I'm just like, you can't bring your motherfucking ass around here acting like you for black men and shit if you're in an environment like that. Because we know what the surisms and the platinum, we know what the fuck they're here for. They're here to grandstand on these hoes. And unless you're one of them type of dudes, they're gonna be speaking, monotone to you. Because believe it or not, I spend a lot of time actually listening to people who I don't agree with. Because I just want to see if there's a particular argument that they're going to come up with that is actually worth debating. Because at this point, you really can't debate these people all as much at this point. Because there's no data points to which they're talking about that's going to solve any type of problem or situation. Because most people who have this level of mental instability actually think that access to sex is going to solve all the problems in life, which that isn't the case. These actual problems start once you get access to the wrong type of sex within an environment, which you are infinitely going to keep needing their help for so long as you are in the environment. So it's like this. at this point in time, there's really no reason and really no excuse to like address these people directly unless you debate them directly on an actual issue and topic. Because they can't debate for the most part. At most, the only thing they can do is try to get their shots off and leave, but they can't really carry on a conversation about progress. Yeah. So like I was saying earlier, you guys have to recognize that from here on out, man, we're going to need some order around. Because the forces of people who don't belong here are actually like recruiting other people who shouldn't belong. Because it's all it's going to take is a couple of individuals to actually destroy the entire space for progress. It's not going to take that many. So what you guys have to realize is, as long as you leave those type of women alone, those dudes disappear. They vaporize in the dust. Everybody is here to try to find a landing position for this person within this environment who have done it wrong. And you have to realize that this is not your responsibility to fix said situations here. But everybody have piled into the space that I'm gonna call Manosphere 1.0, 4.0 that I'm gonna talk about tomorrow. Like, yeah, man, I ain't got time for got time for that shit. Get your ass out of here. All the stupid shit she says and all this goofy ass shit, like, man, get your drunk ass out. I ain't got time for that shit. Yeah, it's like, man, look, y'all gonna have to watch out for each other out here, man, because y'all gonna be trying to do business with some of these people around here, man, and you're gonna end up messing your stuff up. Because the people that I named, they're the same people. They believe in the same types of things, and they're going to keep up the same nonsense within the environment. And it's up to everybody here to make sure that this stuff doesn't spread to another generation. This stuff dies on the vine. There is no coming together with these people. They're already their own people, and they already overprocreated the environment. So that way we're now surrounded by their people. And we can't even get a foothold on things, so that way we can get our people. So it's just that right now, man, now's the time to actually focus and concentrate. Because the things some of these politicians are planning to do once unrest starts, you don't want no parts of it. So what we need to do, man, is we need like truly our own space, like outside of this YouTube shit. Because you really can't pass down actual information within a space like this. And people actually take the information in because they've been screwed over so many people within the environment that when actual information that can help them come along, they don't believe the actual information either. because they've been screwed over by 1,000 and different one dudes within this environment. So we need like a way to vet information, because there's a lot of nonsense out here, man, that people be kicking out that don't make any sense. I don't think that matter of Michael Dress. I really don't think that matter, because being an arbitrary Republican in this climate, I really looking at you sideways too. So I don't think it's mutually exclusive, to be quite honest. So you have to recognize that within this environment, like I said, for me personally, I don't know, man, because they're going after WeChat next, JJ. And I think after WeChat, they're probably going to go after WhatsApp after that. I mean, I was told this stuff like a couple of years ago. I just didn't know they was going to go through with it. That's why I never went on there or even downloaded those actual sites. So what you guys have to recognize, like, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm wrong. But we need to add some people to this list, because it can't just be those type of people who we need to stay away from, because they clearly don't want progress. So I'm gonna drop the link in the chat so that way we can be able to have this substance-based uh, conversation, so that way we can move on. Because we have to come to a point where we have to protect ourselves from this fucking bullshit around. Because obviously it ain't gonna protect itself. Maybe I'm missing something on the men and women side. Maybe that you don't agree. But I'm just saying at this particular point in time that, hey, man, like, we got to get down to the 52-man roster around here, man. Because I truly don't think that the things that are going on in this environment is not limited to just these people. These are just the people who I run into, who I know is brazenly full of shit. and they take the idea that you don't want to go to jail as a free opportunity to make havoc for people within the environment. So I can't be, maybe there are other people. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm missing something. I can't wait till I get back home. Should be there tomorrow night. I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee right now. Hold on a second. Let me go through something else I wanted to cover. Hold on. We're waiting on some people to come up. Yeah, I got this video about Managerial 4.0 coming out tomorrow morning. Make sure y'all pay attention to that, because these things that are going on in this environment, it does have a kind of starting point. You know, niggas, you know, that's how it kind of started. But yeah. All right. Yeah, but y'all have to realize that this thing is more managerial right now than anything else.
Okay.
Adrian, what's going on, man?
What's going on, MOT man?
Oh, chilling out.
I hear you. I hear you. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing, man. With the title, talking about fence sitters, man. I mean, I don't believe in it. Either, I mean, you got to pick a side. Either you pick a side, or it's gonna get picked for you, man.
Yeah, and it's like I think Black America is kind of like the only place where fence sitters can just ride out the entire experience on the fence with next to no consequences for doing so.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And then whenever somebody decides to make consequences for doing so, then it's like
Yeah,
there's a problem with it.
Black America is kind of like. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, so it's like people don't understand that. Now it makes sense why my grandfather had shit set up like it was set up
Gotcha.
because I didn't understand it quite that much, especially like going coming up into like, okay, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this kind of way, and I'm like, why on earth? You got some background, Asian.
Oh, I do. Oh,
Yeah. So it's like this is why order is like important and it's minimal to have
it
order
better.
within an environment. Yeah. Yeah, it's very minimal to have order within an environment. It's like everybody wants to feast off of and kind of parasite off the environment any way that they can. And once they get theirs, then they can have order. And it's like, man, like, bro, like that stuff isn't going to be able to work. It doesn't function like that for a reason, man.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
But I don't. They don't really care about things functioning properly. It makes me think about a quote, from my favorite anime where a guy said, "People only think the facts that work in their favor are truths. They're the only truths that they know. But for the countless people that the facts work against them, they're not in their favor. These are the only facts that they know. These are the only truths they know, and that people they only care pretty much about their own little worlds."
yeah, and it's like I understand people doing whatever they want to, and within their own rational self-interest, for example. But what happens when your rational self-interest involves feasting off of the environment, and then it requires the collective silence of everyone else in order for you to kind of have your rational self-interest kind of fulfilled? It's like what? It's like like other communities don't work like that. It's kind of like, and they kind of live within their own paradox where all the rules apply to everybody else, but they have this special set of circumstances where they're able to do whatever they want to within the environment.
Right, right. It's evident with the way that Black American culture, is acted out. Um, Anybody trying to move progress in a more productive manner that wants better things and wants to see themselves surrounded by better and quality people, something is wrong with them.
Yeah, and if you're not doing this stuff for the parking lot or for the gram, people see something's wrong with you as well. Like I just got through talking to one of my cousins here in Chattanooga, and they just man, like man, you gotta roll out, homeboy. I don't like being around you know these type of things.
Right.
And it's like their parents are sitting there watching their kids say and do all this dumbass shit. I'm like, hey man, maybe I have to cut your ass back too, because maybe you're not as fucking you know good of a human being if you allow this type of shit to go on when I'm not around. You know what I'm saying?
And maybe you're just acting decent just because I'm fucking here. Who knows what the fuck you could be doing outside of me being here, you know?
Right. No, yeah, that's true. And usually things are usually worse when it comes to relatives. Just because of the simple fact, because of that blood relation, they feel like they're entitled to be able to fuck you over first, and then there's no consequences for it because, well, yeah, hey, we're family.
Yeah. 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 I grew up with that, man. Like I had like a dozens of cousins. Like, I have like a lot of like 50-something-year-old cousins who just, they all game niggas, all of them. And none of them got their fucking life together, and they all be on that whole shit. Quite
Man.
literally on that whole shit. At 50-something years old, still trying to run
How you
these
brothers
whack
doing,
ass
man?
fucking.
Brother MOT,
What's
how you
going on,
doing,
man?
brother?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. What's going on, man? Yeah, I haven't seen you up
Can
here before,
anybody
man.
hear
What's
me?
going on? Yeah, I
Yeah, we can
can.
hear you.
Hello?
His must not be working. You might have to drop back
Yeah,
down.
yeah, man. Yeah, dude with the long name, man. Like you got to go out and come back in, man. All right, because we can't hear you.
Hello? Anybody hear me?
Hello, no, you can't hear us.
No, man. He'll be back
Yeah.
if we get his shit straight. We just can't have people just interrupting the fucking conversation with that type of shit. The stream yards. Either it does work or it don't work.
Right.
Especially if you knew you got to have your shit together. You know what I'm saying? Not a big
Right.
deal. You can drop out. You can come back up. Yeah, man. But it's like it's not inside my head, man. Like, dude, like people actually want to be around structure and fucking order. It's the fucking adults that are fucking sapping these kids of that actual benefit of the shit. It ain't the kids themselves. It's
Yeah.
just the kids have never witnessed the shit.
Yeah, you're right. Because I've been around kids, and you kind of tell, they like that structure. They love that good guidance, that structured guidance, and rules, and that they most of them. I was talking with a person I know who's works at a clinic, and he was like he said his son, there was a coach for the team, the new coach they had, they just didn't care for him, and he asked me, why. He was like, because he lets us get away with too much. I mean, there's no real structure, there's no rules, no punishment for people getting out of line, and you can tell that these kids are craving it, but they just have no one giving it to them.
Yeah, and it's kind of like these kids have to go off and do the shit themselves, and that's not like life isn't set up for kids to be running the show or have all these choices between whether or not they want to live as an adult very early.
Right.
Yeah, it's too much for an actual child to be. It's too much of a burden for a child to actually be on top of doing shit like that.
Yeah, I
Within the
agree.
environment.
And it's very few exceptional people that can actually, especially as kids, that can actually look and learn, like, oh man, that's where you messed up. Oh, you messed up doing that. Oh no, I'm not finna do that. I can already tell it's going wrong. So it's just very few individuals that do that. So to put that burden on a child, it's very it's foolish and reckless.
Yeah, and it's even worse if the child is like a younger girl in like this environment and shit, because she could really get fucked up real quick out here with these fucking people out here, man.
Yes, correct. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it makes me think, when I was coming up younger, we had the first girl in our class get pregnant in the 5th grade. And
Yeah,
you're talking about she was fooling with a grown dude and then turned around and got pregnant again in the 7th. And I mean, I'm looking up and they're popping out kids left and right here. I'm like, oh no, I can't fool with none of these mothers. But forget all that. I got to high school. I was like, man, as soon as I got my job, only thing I was worried about was getting my paper and going to work. Going to school. But I mean, you got these others, man. They were so worried about, screwing around, man. They got kids already, and they hadn't even gotten out of school yet.
Yeah, man, I'm from Mississippi, man. So that's pretty normal about fifth, sixth grade, and to have another
Yeah.
kid by the eighth, and then another one by before you even get it's shit's way normal, man.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right. And I'm in the Tennessee area, so it ain't too far, but it's bad enough. And yeah, it just goes to show how run down the culture is as a whole. That's why I can't even call Black America a community, just because of the simple fact the community is a symbiotic relationship between the individuals in it. And there is nothing about Black America that is symbiotic, because most of the individuals are like parasites and or viruses, and no one wants anyone to benefit but themselves.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the person who has the most rights in the environment is the person who can eat or feed off of the most people without actually facing any consequences for it. And this is why I don't, you know, and most of them use young ass kids to be doing a whole bunch of this shit, and
Mm,
that's what I don't like about that shit, man.
yeah.
It's kind of like, the way I grew up and shit. It's kind of like it's impossible for somebody under that household leadership to be thinking about some bullshit called game.
Yeah.
Like, 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 nah. It's like, look, you're gonna be here, you're gonna do these things, and you're gonna have an automatic result. And I don't want to deal with any motherfuckers from this type of environment. I'm not here to satisfy or put up with anybody.
Right. No,
Fuck all that. I'm not trying to endure the experience of anybody. And that's why I was trying to get through to one of my cousins today here in Chattanooga, man. It's just that I mean, man, this shit is so normal to these fucking kids, man.
yeah.
It's so normal.
Yeah. You're right. It is. And that's one of the things I kind of hate, right now about my recovery, because I've got a younger cousin. He looks at me pretty much like an uncle. And since his grandfather died, he doesn't have really any male role models around him, except for when myself and another guy who we look at each other's brothers, whenever we go over there to teach him. But the other guy, he's older, but he doesn't. He's kind of got that a little bit of that purple pill mentality. Good dude,
Yeah.
but he just he can't really just break from that conditioning to be able to teach him. But whenever I go over there, I keep it cut and dry with him, because women aren't going to do it, because it's the only way they can it's the only way they can get power. And but I keep it cut and dry with him. I remember we were talking one day, and his mom was telling him, "Oh, you got to do all these nice things with women and all that." I said, "Man, look, you don't do all." I said, "You don't got to do none of this shit." I said,
Fuck
I
out of
said,
here.
I said, man, you gotta. I said, you got two priorities. I said, one, I said, your number one priority is the purpose that God gave you. Your second priority is to take care of yourself, because if you ain't take care of yourself, you can't take care of that purpose that you have. I said,
Not at
after that,
all.
everything else falls into place. I said, I tell you what, I said, everything that she's telling you to do for these women, I tell you what, nephew, you ain't got no job. Do it with her money. And you can see the facial expression on her immediately changed. So, I kind of set her up for it, and he saw it. And he looked, he was like, Mama. She just didn't want to answer. I said, I tell you what. I said, nephew. I said, you want to know what that look on your mama face meant? I said, I'm going to tell you. It meant you better not give these bitches shit with my money. I said, so that just goes to show you. I said, all of these women are alike, because your own mom was going to send you to the den of wolves. I said, here's the thing. If it's not good with her money, whenever you get your own money, I said, it's not going to be good either. So I think it was one day they went, his aunt and his mom, they all went out to eat, and she was asking him for some money. She asked him, if he had some money. He was like, yeah. She was like, well, can I get some? He was like, no. She said it was like pulling teeth to get a couple of dollars to leave a tip whenever they went to the restaurant. I said, yes. I said, that's my dude. I said, if he can do that with mama, I said he can do that with these others. I said, now it'll take. I said it's gonna take practice and just staying on that square. But he can do it with mama. He can do it with the others. But I just try and keep that mindset in him.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, what's going on? Other guy with the long name. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, Master?
Hey, how's it going, brothers?
Good.
What's going on, man?
Good. I know I got a long name. It's actually Masharaya. It's a like an ancient Israelite type of name. Came to the knowledge.
Oh, that's what's up.
Okay. So, thanks for the topic that you brought up. I think it's very critical information that you brought up regarding like the type of people that we need to be watching out for. I wanted to bring out a possible solution to the problem. I know. Are you all familiar with La Cosa Nostra, the Italian mafia?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not real familiar, but go ahead though.
Okay, no problem. I'll give it just a brief background. So I was reading this book. This is a while back. It was called The Five Families, and you have the five families in New York: the Colombos, the Bonanno family, the Gambinos, the Lucchese, Genovese. And they came with a principle and a certain way of doing things as far as this all males club on how they're going to start a gang and start an actual organized crime. And eventually they started doing being the bookies, loan sharking, different type of crimes in order to make money and actually build a powerhouse in New York. Eventually they went from that into going into legitimate businesses, going into the unions, going into labor unions, going into construction, you name it, plumbing, any particular business. They got their hands involved with it. There's a Netflix documentary that's actually talking about that information and how the FBI realized like they was dealing with a huge problem with the mafia, understanding that they had their hands in every construction business, like millions and millions of dollars. So the reason why I bring this up is the Italian mafia has a process in bringing members into the mafia. They start off as an associate. They're not part of, you have the associate, you have the maid guys, you had the capos, you had the consigliere or the councilman, and then you had the underboss, and then you had the actual boss. Okay. The reason why I'm bringing this up is, if you want, this is my recommendation. If you want to start like some type of where brothers can get together and you want to have productive brothers, there should be like a baseline of guidelines and rules on what type of people these type of men should be, and it should be all men's club. I
have something like that around the people who I be around. Like our rules are simple. You can't be on some bullshit. If you getting ran by a fucking woman, you can't be around us. Like it's a lot of shit. I mean, it's just acting like a normal human being. It's just like just zero tolerance for fucking bullshit, and not doing any type of business, not getting any type of airplay to bullshit motherfuckers, kind of like at all. Period. Like they're you have to treat them as non-human, because when you're in and around, you're trying to do it from the basis of order, and then it goes out. And a lot of people are so used to this kind of consequenceless lifestyle, and it's very easy. Just put them around shit. Just see how they fucking act. Bring a whole bunch of women around, see how they fucking act. They act like a fucking reptile. You gotta get them up out of here. It's just that a lot of people just can't live or survive on principle because they're too deep in that fucking nigga class bullshit to where they can't survive that shit. And this is how come I don't want to be around that shit, because that shit doesn't really inspire actual order within an environment. It inspires chaos within the environment. Well, one person is trying to do something, and then three people trying to do that. Now you got 10 people trying to get over trying to do that. I'm like, why don't we just get rid of all this shit?
Right.
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, myself, I don't even deal, hang around people that, don't invest in me, just because of the simple fact is, I mean, it's simply like uh, gambling against people that don't have any skin in the game, and that's something
Yeah,
I refuse to do.
yeah. I mean, but yeah, there's another person that I forgot to add to this list is the no skin in the game, everything to benefit type people, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, that just like, coming back to the mafia concept where you had I'm MOT, you familiar when like in the mafia movies they say, hey, he's a good earner, you know.
Yeah,
It's like if you're a productive man, you're a productive brother, it's gonna show that. And you talk about I've been watching your videos since the beginning of the year. Like you talk about the track record and having the track
yeah,
record, understanding like, hey, this is my resume. This is what I have done. This is to show. This is to show like what I have done, what I have accomplished, and this is what I'm going to do in the future. Having that perspective of, hey, you can like a financial statement. You see, hey, you see the revenue. You see what have you accumulated, what debt you have accumulated. Do you have the right profit margin? Do you have the income? Do you have the profit where like, dang, we can see like you can project this person going up in the future, right? And I like talking about that and bringing that information up with any brother that you're dealing with is like, hey, what is your track record? What you've done in the past that show that you're going to be progressing in the future? I mean, that's definitely another marker or benchmark that could be used as well, like you already talked about.
yeah. It's like you have to realize, man. Like people don't want to be taking chances on untested liabilities, man. It's like you you gotta have some sort of block that you're building. That's what kind of like the kind of work history, kind of the way shit is, and it's like some people are like, man, fuck a work history. I just want a shot on your shit. I'm like, hey man, I'm not about to put you in charge of my shit so you can fuck it up. What the fuck is wrong with you? And it's like they would never ask for these type of shots anywhere else, but they would come to you in a heartbeat and ask for that type of shot. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, look, we got to be able to create a ground floor to where this shit can happen, but the ground floor can't be created because everybody inside trying to sabotage the children so that way they can fucking survive. And these are the older people I'm talking about fucking it up for the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like you got grown ass motherfuckers who want to be concentrated on first before children who actually need to learn from the environment. But the environment is so fucking toxic because everybody's trying to survive that none of this shit'll fucking work right.
Yeah, right. And I also, don't get me wrong, I also understand that there are levels of success. You got some people that, they'll never be a business owner or a CEO, that type deal. They're gonna be, working at a Walmart, or having at a gas station, having 2 3 jobs like that. But I mean, if they're productive, going to work every day, they're not out there selling drugs and doing things like that to bring the community down. There's still a important productive piece to the puzzle as a whole. And so I always try to encourage those people as well. I mean, there's been times where I've seen someone, I look at their track record, I look, they may just be starting out young with a job, going to McDonald's. I look at them, they're always there. And one time, I saw one it was a little cold that morning. They were walking to work, and I could tell, I was like, oh man, they always going. So I said, I'm gonna go ahead and give them a ride on over here. And I don't mind, helping somebody like that that's, trying to do something productive and better themselves, even though, it may not be a big step, but it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, that's brother Agent, that's a good point. Especially like, not understanding that everybody has a different route of how they progressed in life, and at least showing that I'm doing something with my life, I'm going forward, I have a plan, I have a goal in mind, I'm working towards that goal, and I'm going to do whatever I can to accomplish that goal. And then here's the thing too, with regards to what we're talking about as far as progression, track record, and making sure that the men are not on that bullshit. There's MOT, you familiar with this? Brother Asian, are you familiar with the military?
A little bit, I've got some. My cousin was in the Navy. My dad, he was in World War II. So
Okay.
I've got I've got a little bit of experience in dealing with military people anyway.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and thank you for your father's service too.
No.
There's in the military, you have an evaluation process, evaluation system of each personnel, and you have for the officers, like in the Navy, for example, you have the fit rep or the fitness report, and then you have the evals for the enlisted, and they're like once the evaluation period is going forward, like you're pretty much your OIC or officer in charge will come to you and say, hey, it's time for your fit rep. Go ahead and put in your brag sheet. Put in your brag sheet and send that up to me so we can write up a fitness report or eval, write up your eval. And pretty much that's pretty much the culmination of everything you have done during that period. Like, hey, what contribution have you done in this, in this organization? How much fundraising how much money have you raised during this fundraising? What have you participated in? How did you save the organization money? What duties have you done? And how did you contribute to the mission essential task? Things of that nature, right? Like you're talking about guys that's coming up, that's progression, like a E1 to an E2 and an E3. They're gonna have certain things, like they're not gonna have like a E5 or E6, because E2, E1, E2, E3, they're in the stage of development. They're trying to work their way up. So what have they what's the community service? What type of community service they have done? Are they doing their job well? Right? And are they progressing? May not necessarily be like extreme progression, because some people, you're gonna have some people that are pretty much stars, superstars, and then you're gonna have people he's not a superstar, but he's progressing, and that's fine. Everybody's gonna grow based on their own progression and based on their own stage, but it has to be some type of evaluation on people to determine exactly, hey, are you progressing or are you degressing or stagnating? Because stagnation is no different than declining. Now some things may happen in your life that, maybe your father passed away, your mother passed away, your cousin, or you went on hard times, and that's understandable, right? But if it's all self-imposed, your struggles self-imposed because you're not doing what you're supposed to do, or you chasing these holes, or you're doing something else that's contrary to productiveness, then that should be a mark on you. That should be like, man, that should be a mark on your progression. And like, we don't see this person progressing, we might have to cancel this person out, because that's what the military do. If you're not progressing, if you're not getting better, they're gonna get you out of the military.
Yeah. MOT, you're real low.
Oh, sorry about that. No, my headset was away from my mouth.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's just that right now, like people don't understand that right now it's gonna be kind of like how it was in like 2008 or nine. If your ass is not out here connected with people, man, it's going to be tough to get on somewhere, man. Real tough to get on because there's gonna be a gang of out of work, highly competent people out here, and a lot of people they might have the mind frame, but they may not get their shot because of their circumstances at hand, and then they just fall back into their old normal bullshit just to survive. I mean, it's like, bro, you
I'll be
still gotta
right
stick
back.
to that principle. Or you still gotta stick to that principle, no matter what's going on out here. And a lot of people don't want to do that. You know, they want to do that survive off the environment shit, and that stuff really doesn't work all that well for everybody within the environment. And it's kind of like we actually need this shit to work a certain type of way, right? And a lot of people think, well, who are you to impose order? I'm like, nigga, who the fuck are you to impose chaos? That's the fucking method of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, none of this stuff is going to be able to function properly if we don't do shit that have an actual point to it. And a lot of people just don't want to conform to any type of standard, so that way they can have more rights than anybody else within the environment. And that's the type of shit that we got to cut down on, man. Because a lot of these kids are coming out of real fucked up situations where they may be good people, but they got a lot of badass habits that they pick up around these bullshit ass situations, man. And then you end up inviting them to your shit where things kind of work well, and then they try to bring, that nigga shit environment bullshit to your shit that actually works. And it's like, nah, man, look, we can't fuck with that.
Right. I got you.
I mean, indeed. I mean, I think that's why it has like the productive men that's in this manosphere definitely have to get involved as far as how we're going to show these young brothers, because I believe there are young brothers out there in their teens, in their 20s who wants to get better, but they never had proper guidance, because
Yeah.
we talk, it's I mean, they've been talking to pimps and players and gangsters and thugs and drug dealers, all their life. So that's the only thing. When they see a man, that's the only thing as far as what a black man should be. He should be a drug dealer, player, talk, and just for the record too, with this COVID-19, I think is a blessing in disguise for men. And the reason why I say this, it's the perfect time to you to totally focus on who you are and what you're trying to do.
Yes,
right?
indeed, man.
I mean, there's no better time in the world than during this COVID, this CV Rona situation that we're in today. It's like, and that's what these young men need to be doing. These young brothers need to be doing. It's just like that. As an example, I know you brothers heard about the Seattle Seahawks defensive back.
No, which one?
He tried to sneak in one of these broads into the bubble, the NFL bubble.
Jesus Christ, man.
No.
Yes. Yes.
What?
He actually tried to sneak in one of the defensive backs into the bubble.
Sorry, Ben Derek. I wanted to just add to it. He was a wide receiver and he was a free agent, so he wasn't even drafted.
Oh shoot!
And he was a rookie. And he snuck a chick in.
Yeah, see, it's kind. Go ahead.
So they end up letting him go over there?
Yeah, they released him.
Oh wow.
They released him. they made an example out of him.
Damn. I
And
can tell I ain't looked at TV.
Yeah,
and,
me here, man.
And I found it on YouTube. I barely watch TV as well. But that's where it's like, I mean, it's an old rule, an old adage that's been mentioned in rap music and movies. You never put a bra over your money or your purpose. And that's, unfortunately, that's what he did. And that's what these young brothers been trained on. They've been trained on, man, you know, like we all talked about, your masculinity depends on how many women you get.
He was a defensive back. You were right. I'm sorry. He's a defensive back. You're right about that. Sorry, sir.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Damn. So he snuck somebody through a whole woman through the fucking bubble, and then they just
Instagram thought I think she was.
Yeah. And got caught on camera.
Free agent, not drafted. Like, this was your dream, you know?
Oh yeah, you already done messed up.
Yeah. That's, man. If that's not a lesson for young brothers to consider deeply, understanding that you at the pinnacle, you're like at the pinnacle with regards to football, and here you have an opportunity to like build your career, right, and move forward, eventually hopefully get into investments and other things regarding the NFL and other things outside the NFL, and here you blow it, you know, given the opportunity where you're going to make millions of dollars, and here you go trying to sneak in LeBron, who's temporary.
You know what's crazy about this is that sports is going the same way as automation, because they pump up these sports to basically rule out the defense, to where offenses are so powerful that it's easy to interchange players, where basically you got to be at such a high popularity or skill level that they'll keep you. That's why they're willing to drop anybody nowadays, because all they gotta do is plug anybody in, because it's really not about having a balanced game. It's about having an entertaining game.
Yeah.
So they'll get rid of you in a second if you mess up.
Yeah, it's all about that ability to be able to put them butts in the seat and sell them tickets, man.
You talk about 6-figure dudes having control over $1 million players, and they just drop them. I'm like, God damn, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that is wild business. How people who don't even make that much money get to make a whole bunch of decisions. That should be crazy, man.
But you know, the thing is, those guys though, they may not be making millions off the bat, but I guarantee you they know how to move money and save it to where they gonna have millions. And that's the difference between them and those players, because a lot of those players, you know, they wasted and, you know, out there flossing and wasting money on expensive things and cars and, you know, lavish houses that aren't even needed. So
yeah, I mean, you know, they do mess it up pretty quickly, and like, you know, the smart ones who just stay up out of it and just keep to the game, you know, those are the ones who normally have the lasting and staying power anyway. So,
right.
I mean, yeah, and again, I just going back to man guidance, having the proper the right man to give you guidance on how you're supposed to live with this money that you're going to be getting.
yeah,
it comes down to that, and having that understanding and putting the right people in your midst, you know.
Pussy wins again.
Always winning.
got another one. It's Zero is smiling.
Yeah,
It's
right.
undefeated.
Yeah, he is.
Undefeated. No weaknesses and is undefeated.
Yo, MOT, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I first I'll say I watched your video that you put out earlier today. Good video. talking about basically how they want to basically be unreformed and still come along with actually reformed people and actually and treat you with that same type of deference. Did you watch my review of Mode One on Kudas?
Yeah, man, you was quite yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, it. I'll say that I was a lot harsher than I should have been. You know, that's why I like listening to you guys like Complex, Mike V, Fasting, and on this channel because they like you guys reel me in because I can be harsh at times, a little bit too much extra. And then I listen to other people on other channels also after that, and I thought about like the original objective of this space, and I don't think I fall without that outside that parameter.
No, you
And
don't. It's kind of like once you listen to the material, you really have to ask yourself, this shit should have been done to this motherfucker as soon as he got here. That should have been, we gonna look over this nigga's material and we're gonna egg on this motherfucker. That should have been like J number one. But it's like it doesn't add up for a dude to be. I mean, but he requires within this environment. It's kind of like what he's selling is a dream that he's not living and that nobody can verify. And since people are so caught up in lying about their own experience, they'll just mirror that dude's experience. Oh, I could do this. It ain't that hard. I'm like, hey man, all these pimps around here and ain't nobody turning out no judges, really, no prosecutors. But you got all this fucking control though, right? It's like, I mean, it's just that other people of other cultures would have did exactly what you did to that information.
it like yeah, like it's extremely outdated, and it should have been broken up and critiqued in pieces because it got updated in pieces. You know, basically, the main product when somebody's selling you a shoe, the main product is a shoe. Everything else besides like the shoe cleaner, the shoe horn, um, a commercial that shows you jumping over the moon, a special bag that goes over the box. All that stuff is extra, and that's all that the other stuff was. He basically kept that selling point of being able to say whatever you want to a woman, and it's like no, it's like that's a negative. That's a negative. That's not a position of power. And after you don't go from a position of power, how can mode one be beneficial? And it's like and you saw the guys come out the woodworks to defend it, and I'm like, yo, I even gave like kind of like I tried to be like you when you were talking about like basically how to defend his own property because nobody wants to see somebody lose they shit they worked hard for. So basically, but I went other direction and said, yo, I want to see him win and do something respectable because I saw some actual talent in the man, and they was like, who are you to say he's not successful? And I'm like, yo, what the are you? Do you like? If I was a brain surgeon, I would want to replicate myself among my kids and my family members. Would you have a heart to heart with him? Would he really want to replicate another Mode One guy amongst his son? Like really? How many guys like that do we need? Like, come on! Like, what are we doing here? And it's like you just saw people either they for the entertainment or they want this shit to go on, and it's people that you might like. They like the effery.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, and that's kind of the deal that people don't see here is that this is some fucking bullshit, and it's like the shit shouldn't be celebrated; it should be fucking destroyed outright. But that's just me. But y'all go ahead. I gotta check on something real quick.
Okay. Hey guys guys on the panel. I got a question because this kind of in relation to what brother Agon. That's how you say your name, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, brother Agon. And brother Azen. Like
Yeah.
the black exploitation movies of the 1970s. I like to get your opinion on that because based on my observation, I think why we got this gang nonsense I think, not to color your own opinions, but I think the inception of this game nonsense has to do with the exploitation. That's why you have the Mode One and the Players and Gentlemen University here still, and you still have remnants of these people still in the market. Do you all think that the black exploitation movies was the creation of all of this madness, or do you think it comes from something else?
No, I mean, that's kind of where it started. I mean, what we had was just was just. I mean, they're capitalizing off male discontent and the overages of feminism and giving people a fake actual conclusion that if you act a certain type of way, you're going to receive this type of result. And this is why I never had respect for anybody who bigged up that guy within the manosphere, to be quite honest with you. Because I think the guy's a goddamn fraud and he's a goddamn clown and he should be put out of this motherfucker. Him and the other fucking cylinder shaped nigga with the goddamn body game. Neither one of these niggas should have been in this space in the first place. Neither one of them. It's like, dude, listen. You can't bring this type of poison around, and it's like he can only survive in the environment by feeding fresh men to overly fucking experienced women. And these dudes gonna think that they got some sort of fucking game, and they're gonna end up getting their ass eaten the fuck alive. I mean, so at the end of the day, I mean, we're like feeding fucking mice to fucking boa constrictors and shit. It's like that's where we at.
Asian, I'm gonna go after you, okay? I'll go after you.
Oh, okay. I think I don't think you can just blame it entirely on the black exploitation. I think more, to be honest, that the black exploitation movies were a reflection on just Black America in general at that time. I think it showed more about some of the people that individuals that Black individuals aspired to be, and they just happen to aspire to be characters that weren't realistic and weren't in the long run good for Black America.
Yeah.
And
Yo,
that's go ahead, bro.
my bad. I'll wait.
We look at these movies in the entertainment industry and the entertainment system and then how they program people, right? It's like what you were saying, brother Azan, like it was just a bad picture on how they showed us. It's like they didn't show us as lawyers, as doctors in these movies. I mean, they had Shaft as a policeman. Okay, I'll take that. They had Superfly, and then they recreate Superfly in today's world. And it's like, why are you bringing back this? It's like the overall system itself that we still lifting up. It's like, I'm not saying we that's on the panel. I'm just saying like overall as a Black America, or not only Black America, but the powers that be. It's just like you're bringing this old relic of dysfunction back, to put in our faces so we can continue in this dysfunction with the Superfly movie and just this whole aspect of being a gangster and a drug dealer and a criminal. It's like, I'm like, why are we not moving forward with this? It's like you got the protests. It's just like our people are brain dead thinking that protest is going to make things happen. That's going to change certain things. I just, that's my whole thing. But I'm gonna cut out so you let you brothers talk on that.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh
Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead,
I can hear you. Go ahead.
I think it is Asian. You kind of hit it where I was gonna go. Is that the character piece? Like, I think the simple solution is these people, they wanted to be characters and they were given characters and they accepted it. Like I think about like all the boomers I knew growing up and how they would act around each other and they'd be like in a really fake manner that they wouldn't act when they were like around me, but around each other it was like character acting. Like they were acting like too fly and stuff like that. And people, because I say it's both. It's not just one thing. It wasn't just the black exploitation movies. People wanted to be these characters to get away from who they were. And you got the same thing here. People are they act like these characters. They get mad when you disrespect these characters and act like they're real people. But they're totally unproductive. The characters don't produce anything but fly words and charisma.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's like whenever they when they talk about hip hop and rap, and they blame the culture. They blame that music culture for the creation of black culture, what we have today. But I can't, to me that's a cop out. I look at it as they were putting out there the culture that existed at the time. Well, they're showing what existed and what's there. Um, it's up to individuals to not replicate that themselves. I don't think now I could say that they promoted. I mean, I've even heard A-Ball and MJG say that they weren't ashamed of the truth they told, but they were ashamed of the lifestyle that they glorified. But the thing was, many others have been glorifying their lifestyle before they came, and I think it was just a reflection of what the culture was. But people chose to want to be that.
Agreed.
Yeah, what's going on, Marco Grande? What's going on, Game Changer?
What's going on?
What's up, fellas?
What up, man?
What's going on, brothers?
What's up, dudes?
What's going on?
What's up, gentlemen? I'll wait for Game Changer, please.
So basically, sexual virility is one of the few things that black man, an individual black man, can say that he best white man on an individual basis. Now, this is all things equal, meaning economically equal. A black man can say that he can better a white man on that in that way. Um, and I think that they're just trying to protect that gives them a certain type of psychological comfort, when faced with all the other failures that they may have in their own personal lives. So they tend to hold on to that, and they protect it so vigorously because you're attempting to take that away from them. So the game guys, are so happy that pimps exist and that they're black, that the existence of pimps, and as presented in the Superfly or the Mac or the black exploitation movies of the past, um, you know, the image, they take a certain pride in knowing that he exists and he's one of us. Kind of like I would take pride if somebody like Ben Carson or Neil deGrasse Tyson or something like that, or an athlete would take pride of Michael Jordan or Muhammad Ali, things like that. They want to be adjacent to some sort of greatness, and that's why. So to answer your question, yes, the movies do bring that to light, and it does help these guys' ego. But the fact that their ego needs such repair has nothing to do with the movies. It's just personal failings combined with societal norms.
Interesting.
Hello,
Yeah, well, hold on a second.
can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, hold on a second. We're going to Marco. Marco.
Okay.
What's going on, gentlemen? Good evening.
What
What's
up?
going on, Marco?
Not much, man. That's all good.
What's going on, bro?
Not much, brother. Listen, I wanted to say what's up to Egan. I kind of wanted to speak to the earlier question that he asked when he was
Yeah, go ahead.
questioning himself about whether he is as he called it, going in too hard. Is that what you said, Aegon?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's accurate. When you say we go too hard, but I think because I think that when you have some type of a conviction, when you have the truth on your side, can you throw it softly?
Yeah.
Could you just like
Right.
half do it? I just think that and I did hear the situation that you're talking about, and it seemed as if you shouldn't have to try to soften it. Kind of like when shout out to Zero when he did that video, which was mitigating the language.
Hmm.
That's like you really mitigating the truth. It's not. It's okay to say what it is, and then obviously people are going to fight back, and I don't think it's really upon you to either not fight as hard or to try to hide what it is, the truth, just because for their sake. And that's kind of my take on it.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. So
Marco, speaking of going too hard, how's chocolate?
She's very, very hard. She is so hard.
Okay.
Definitely.
So what happened with so you did your review with Alan Roger Curry, and as I understand, Aegon, you were I didn't see it, but people sent me messages that you were swarmed by the panel. So is it,
what?
yeah,
Yeah.
as I
Yeah.
understand it, it was a group of guys, all of them who are of the game culture,
Oh
attacking
God.
Aegon for going against one of their own. Is
Yeah.
that a correct
Yeah.
assessment?
Yeah. Yeah. Like basically, I talked to Kud about the book. Kud, Kud was with the book, and so at the end of the review, we opened up the panel, and then like about 5 guys got on. They was all with gaming. We just talking about it, and they was like basically because the main thing I left off with is that I think he wasted his life pushing this book because
He did.
he has more potential than this, especially with his voice and his charisma. What he could have did with like being a leader of a foundation in medical science, because when somebody has a voice that makes you remember things. I mean, like he has that ability, and if he did that with something more productive, we would know him around the world. But he did this, and it's like, yo, this pales the comparison of what you could actually did. And it was like, and they were like, who are you to tell him what success? Who are you to say what success is? And then I started bringing up
Yeah.
like, yo, I said, yo, Hugh Hefner is more successful than he is. And like, I mean, like, but he actually lives the lifestyle. Like, he has the house with the women. And they was like, Hugh Hefner's a trick. And I'm like, so who's more of a trick? The guy with the apartment that's married who's pushing a book, or the dude with the mansion with the girls? I mean, they both on some juvenile stuff, but at least one shows the tangibles. I'm like, it's not to be replicated at all, but like you guys are trying to replicate a dude that has no tangibles, and I'm like, what are we doing here?
And
No.
you know
What,
oh my bad. Go
I
ahead.
mean, like he already. Hold on a second. Yeah. Yeah. What they're replicating is the fake kind of respect around what he did, even though there's no tangibles. That's they want the respect and the clout that he supposedly have amongst like dumb niggas and like unfeminine women. Like, oh yeah, you just do all this shit, and I'm like, don't you motherfuckers understand that no one is going to give you a guidebook, especially when they got that kind of power within the environment where anything works for them? They're going to tell you just to do any old other shit. All the shit that you haven't tried yet is going to be the answer to that question. And guess what? You're going to do all that shit and still not have any level of success. Go ahead, Yori.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, the reason that they're going to come after Aegon is because he actually makes sense. And a lot of these people don't like when somebody actually makes sense, because if it makes sense and it attacks the narrative that they're pushing, then obviously they're going to be against it. See, but here's the thing that I'm kind of against, and I'm going to go in here a little bit, and shout out to ARC, because in his credit, he's done what he could in that space. However, However, the point that Aegon made is a point that is to be taken. That's saying, considering all the talent that he did have, he probably undersold himself a little bit. But here's the thing that I think MOT and a lot of other successful people are saying is that we've got to separate what success looks like in other places and success looks like in this place. Because a lot of times, if we're going to go with the game guys and what success looks like to them, that's not a proper metric to what success really looks like. And I feel like people like MOT and other people that are truly successful from all different types of normal metrics are saying that, look, we don't got to settle for this secondary type of success when we can be successful in the ways that normal people are successful and really have some decent power.
Yeah, and you have to realize that people who keep up that sort of bullshit don't like actual successful people, because actual successful people kind of burns a hole into their whole credibility, because it's not a standard to which you want to work toward. And it's like, when he was trying the shit then, there was no consequences to the shit that he was trying then. Now there's a consequences to any of that shit that you do. So what he depends on is, well, if she likes you. I'm like, yeah, but what happens when you can't plan past Pocock's rationalizations and end up in your ass in a whole bunch of fucking trouble because you're doing what some internet nigga said on fucking online and you just bragging on the shit. And when your ass is actually in trouble for some of this shit, like, that dude is not coming there as a character witness. You're just gonna be fucked up and taking a plea deal on some shit that you shouldn't be taking a plea deal on, while trying to maintain this type of fake human beingness in the actual same environment.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ace.
Okay, I was just gonna say, it's funny, how you said they kind of tried to shit on Hugh Hefner in the sense that, let's be honest, every last one of them would aspire to be him. I mean, they called him a trick, but any dude dealing with the female is a trick. If you're not tricking off money, you're tricking off time. But what's failed to be acknowledged is the simple fact Hugh Hefner is getting money too. I mean, let's not act like we don't know about all the powerful people that come to the grotto to hang with these hoes and they're paying them to keep this shit silent. He is a high class pimp as well. So for his tricking, he's making more off them than what he's spending.
Okay, understand this. Understand this, Adrian.
Well, he passed away, Agent. I'm sorry, he passed away.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not now, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, every man who sleeps with a woman who makes less money than him is a trick. Unless you are sleeping with a woman who out earns you, then you are a trick, according to them. Just so you can better understand the definition of trick.
I mean, but it to them, they want you to earn this worthless fucking experience. So they want to clown the trick who gets in and out, but they don't clown niggas on child support who technically pay a hell of a lot more money on hoes than the actual fucking trick does. Like, I don't get this shit. It don't make any sense. I'm like, dude, listen. Why? And it's like, women never clown other women, especially when a woman gets in a position she knows she ain't fucking supposed to be in. A woman doesn't say really shit about it. Other women might, but it's never. It's kind of like they don't want men to put an actual value on it, except for if you're trying to clown a nigga over it. Like, the value is to be said by the woman and them and nobody else. Like, I don't get it, man.
Yeah, it's weird because I was paying attention to what Zach was saying on one of Platinum's live streams, and Zach was saying, "Look, man, forget about these women. it's about me. I'll basically spit the contract and basically tell the bitch how she's supposed to act and shit like that. And if she ain't gonna act the way I'm gonna act, then she gotta hit the road kind of shit. And so many people kind of was like, well, yeah, I agree with you, but it kind of went into like this circular kind of bitch first kind of talking point shit. Where
Yeah, but you have to understand why that is. I mean, like, as much game that they claim to have, the only thing they do is they get around her and then they do everything she fucking wants and says. So they don't want to hear about a man being assertive because they think if you're assertive, you get less of what you want. Like, no, being assertive means you get exactly what you want or she got to go. So they're like, okay, so now you're throwing all pussy out the window because they are the ones who can't assert themselves in the situation because they're compromised by pussy, not the actual person who has a level of principle. They don't do that shit. This is why it's hard for them to think about it from that point of view because they're such fucking parasites that they like, well, I'm going to be around this motherfucker and say whatever to get the pussy. I don't give a fuck what it is. I'll do whatever. And so when you say, well, I'm not willing to do those things, it kind of destroys their kind of life model. But they depend on men's discontent in the actual same environment. At least they're getting some and somebody's getting none. And when you make it fine for you not to get quote unquote none, they can't understand that type of worldview. They can't understand it.
Right. And they're basically attacking people for being black pill and stuff like that. At the same time, they're saying they're max and that some dude like Sir Ism's a pimp and shit like that. And technically,
if that's true.
Oh, right. And technically, the black pill framework in terms of cutting a bitch off if she ain't really doing what you need to do is what pimps do. You know what I mean? If these guys are so filled with game and so straight laced and shit like that, how come people don't understand that? Because that's the whole shit about basically being a pimp. That basically you get your cash first and you get your ass last. You know what I mean? The ass is the least important thing in terms of a pimp because he's about transactional type of stuff. But the thing is when you throw like a real kind of no nonsense agenda at them, their brain flips over. And that shows that they're bitch first in their mentality and shit. Because if they were really about what they were talking about, they would understand what the fuck like simple people are trying to say.
Well, their whole mentality is you got to do everything to get the broad. That's their mentality. That's their priority. If you're not doing everything to get her, you're not doing anything right.
The ends justify any means. Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
I guess when sooner or later the mangina epidemic pandemic has to end someday, somehow, some way. Again, nevertheless, I just think it's total dysfunction. And if brothers out there, productive brothers out there listening, don't fall into this trap that you gotta do what they do.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
I mean, it to me, this is the last thing I'm gonna say. For all these guys to say whoever they are, whatever part of the game they are, whatever. The biggest thing that most people don't understand is that pimps, for example, are all about control. So if we're saying that we want to control our environment, that makes us more like them than a lot of these game dudes. But the thing is, the game dudes will fight over the simplest shit, and that just shows you that they really ain't about what they're saying they're about. Like somebody else said earlier, it's just about getting the ass at any means necessary.
Yeah, and it's like, well, you can do that in days past, but right now, why these women can turn over and like 5 or 6 of these motherfuckers click up online, dude, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble, man. A lot of it.
Yeah.
And it They keep treating the stuff like it's consequences. I'm like, dude, listen, man. It's just for them. Since they're so focused on this shit, what I do is I immediately disrespect the fuck out of it and see how they react. And they react like the fucking world is falling. And it's like they don't get why I say what I say. It's just that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna throw a fake pussy off a cliff, and the motherfuckers just jump. Oh my god, you know, they just
You
don't
walked
understand,
away?
man. Yeah,
You
how could you
left all
do
this
that?
shit on the table. That's what these people be saying, man. These people
That's the
be
thing,
saying
man.
this shit. These people be saying this shit like these bitches is valuable, man. That's what trips me the fuck out.
Yeah, man, but that's where we at with it, and it's now you can critique these motherfuckers real time, and that's something that they cannot stand is being critiqued real time by other people.
Yeah, I
They
caught
can't deal
that
with it.
dude. What's his name? The dude that had 14 kids. I caught him on some bullshit. If y'all like listen to that stream, and he said some stuff like, just because you leave doesn't mean that things are going to change when you go to a different environment. I'm like, bro, so you're telling me if I get on a plane and go to Africa, I'm still in America? Come on now. Like, how the fuck does that make any sense? It's like, oh, well, like if you leave jail, that still means that you're a criminal even after you leave jail. And even after your sentence gets revoked and your record gets expunged, you're always going to be a criminal. No, asshole. What it means is that the court said that you were in jail for some bullshit and they're getting rid of your sentence because it never shouldn't have been there. Come on.
I mean, it's kind of like covering somebody's arrest, but not covering the fact that they wasn't convicted of shit.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you can get arrested for fucking anything, but if they're not taking your ass to no actual trial, and you keep trying to bring up somebody who was arrested for X, Y, Z, then technically you're just fucking lying. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but you're dealing with disingenuous people, and he thought he was more of a man because he created 14 separate fucking kids, man. And it's like, dude, listen, man. At best, the shit is irresponsible like a motherfucker. But it's like, but to these people, there's no embarrassment. They can't be embarrassed off the point. They completely sold the fuck out, and they don't care about what you have to say.
Yeah,
it's the crazy part about it.
Yeah, we were really reeling back off of legalized marriage is a good thing, and I'm like, yo, we taking backward steps here. And I was like, nope. I know what this is. It's just, and it's like this is an echo chamber of dumbness. Like these guys just want, because I could tell in some of those guys' ideologies I was going at it with last night. They don't agree with each other. They just agree with each other on the fact of riding off of a lie. But as soon as they're going to cannibalize each other, they gonna start fighting each other.
Eventually. So what you have to do first is you have to put them all, like my plan, put them all in one group. Then you allow that group to kill each other. Like who seen Justice League Unlimited, the next to the last episode?
I saw it.
Okay.
Saw that
What
shit.
happened when all them supervillains got aboard that fucking ship? They immediately tried to fucking kill each other.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
And then they brought Darkseid back to life, and he wanted to kill all of them immediately. So it's like,
yeah,
You know what it is? It's like Dragon Ball Super, where where Zamasu and the 10th Kai go in time to like some kind of prehistoric dinosaur period, and they're sitting there and they start talking, and they got like billing clubs, and they start fighting each other. And it's like, oh, well, those people have started to build a civilization now. And then like 2 minutes later, it's like, oh, well, Never mind the civilization; it's gone. You know, that kind
Yeah, it's like, but what Aegon did should have happened. Like 1.0 should have came back after these 2.0 niggas. That's what should have happened. They should have reactivated their fucking accounts and be like, these dudes are full of shit and they're gonna sell out this fucking space for money the moment they fucking get a chance to. Just wait. And that's what fucking happened. So when I cover Manosphere 4.0 tomorrow, telling you how the Injustice Society has fucking reformed. So like you know, there was Niggas Incorporated, you know, with a bunch of different subsidiaries, but now they just made another fucking Injustice Society, man. And all these motherfuckers are on the same team. And it's like, dude, every one of these niggas are an iteration of another type of nigga, dude. It's like all the pieces of the nigga is here. You got the pimp, you got the fucking unreformed criminal, you got the fucking prison scholar, you got boardroom pookie, and like everybody's here. The gang's all here. The only thing they need, because they ain't building shit, is for everybody else to like be okay with the fact that they fucked up everything in the past. And why they did it? Because I got the bitches before you did. It's like, what if people were concentrating on other shit other than bitches? So it's like, nope.
Right.
Nope. The bitch chose me, and you have to respect her. Like, okay, what does this bitch look like? What are you talking about? A bitch said it. A bitch said it. So they all said it. So it's like, fuck. So you can't really like call these people out on shit because they really don't care. Like, dude, they're protecting the last vestiges of a broken concept, and it's just not gonna work, man.
Yeah. It's not. And that's why, you know, the only thing, you know, it's heading, you know, this whole split is headed that way. It's inevitable. You know, I'm just waiting for the powder keg to go ahead and catch fire and blow the fuck up.
yeah, pretty much.
I mean, look, man, it's only gonna be a moment of time for all these dudes who helped Kevin Samuels that they start turning on him. It's only a moment of time. It's only a matter of fucking time before that happens.
Well, that already did happen if you notice, because when Kevin Samuels big up what's his name, O'Shea, a lot of these guys had a problem with Kevin Samuels doing that. So you know, it's like we already know that there's. No,
I mean, but he know that the consequences was doing that was the actual person doing that was gonna go off and say some crazy ass shit about how he was the best and he don't really need no and all that kind of shit, which was gonna send his fucking shit on fire. And then like Kevin Samuels disappears after he does something like that. Sure. And then he's back, and then he disappears whenever he gets somebody to set fire to their brand. He's out of here. He's never nowhere around after this shit happens. Because actually, having that dude set fire to his own reputation gave rise to him. That's what happened.
Yeah, man.
So he was trying to make people infight so that way he could just keep rolling up the notch ladder while he was fucking doing that. And it's like, y'all don't get what this motherfucker's doing. It's like when he gave Obsidian the bullshit advice of going to this fucking audience and he lost on them Patreons and shit. Because he started shitting on MGTOW and shit. I'm like, dude, most of your audience is actually MGTOW motherfuckers. If you don't fucking know that, then it's like, and then poof, the motherfucker disappeared for a while. Then he kind of got let back in the door. I'm like, man, you motherfuckers ain't got no standards, man. This dude has been running the same play over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And this is why you niggas are not on this channel, because he don't give a fuck about y'all. Who gave him the goddamn relevance in the first place? And you have to fucking see this shit coming. You have to see it coming.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not hard, and the shit's 100% true. And it's not hating. I just know the fucking track record.
Yeah.
And the track record isn't fucking lying.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he did. And now this dude is doing numbers and they really can't do shit. They're trying to can't find their ass with both hands. And it's like, you people don't know shit about business, man. It's this typical divide and conquer strategy. Except for he get to play all sides.
Yeah. Oh man. Man. Wow. Yeah. And he's done it masterfully, and his execution of it, or either they just, or maybe it's a combination of them. You know, I guess it's like he's playing with kids. But yeah, yeah, it's pretty funny. It's fun. I don't know. It's just funny watching that train wreck.
Yeah, I mean, but you have to realize that this shit was going to cost something. And when you're so used to thinking that you're the best at whoever have done shit, oh, that shit works if you're the only person talking. It doesn't work if there's 24 new people around this motherfucker. Like, actual attention span just goes somewhere else.
Right. Right.
And especially, it's like, dude, listen, man, you gotta stop thinking that you don't need your actual paying customers. You do need those people.
And you know, that's, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you know, it's funny that you brought that up because, you know, the entertainment industry, as far as especially with male entertainment with movies and comics and everything, I did a stream on it earlier. You know, they're finding themselves in the same pickle because they've alienated themselves. They've alienated a product from the people who were financially supporting it the whole time.
Yes, Marvel about to do this shit to themselves. They're gonna turn their in-game money into Batman Forever money.
Oh man,
Bat nipples.
Yeah,
that was Batman and Robin right there. Nipples on the bat suit.
Oh man. I remember those bitch ass movies. Batman and Robin, Batman Forever, like all them George Clooney Batman. They were bad. They're so bad.
Yeah, it was terrible.
that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen, and it's like they don't see it coming, and it's like, dude, listen, man. Anybody can look at this shit and be like, this shit is not gonna fucking last. And now they're all in one, because when you don't set standards for a group, I'm gonna cover it tomorrow morning, but when you don't set standards for a group, you will be overran by the people who you should have locked out in the first fucking place. Period. It happens every time, no matter whether it's a religious organization or a nonprofit organization. If you allow people who isn't about the mission to stay around the mission, they will become the fucking mission, one way or another. It just don't fucking get it.
Yeah, and the funny thing about that is that people like that need the like, okay, they need basically, like, what word I'm trying to say, they need the label of being stand-up people to be ambiguous, so
Yes.
not to be called out. So what I'm saying is, like, if you have a group of mobsters, you need to basically, it's a slimy ass organization, but you need integrity in the background of that. But if they have no integrity, they basically still want it to be there, so basically they can still do what they're going to do. Because if as soon as you say you guys have no integrity, it ruins everything. It ruins the hustle.
Yeah, it's kind of like, okay, we're all villains. We're just gonna get rid of our fronts and just be villains. Like, that obviously wouldn't fucking work. But that's what they're trying to run. You know, they're trying to run that type of system. It's like, okay, we're gonna get rid of all the fronts, which are the legitimate reasons for being here, and we're just gonna replace them with entertainment news and relationship advice with fucking breeding cows. Like, dude, listen, they've been on the market too long. They've been through, like, dude, they've had a lifetime worth of dick before they turn 18 years old. There's pretty much nothing you're going to be able to say or do to these people. They want actual validation as well. Like, they're not one of those people. And that's what this relationship advice shit's about. It's about giving people a second and a third chance that they don't fucking deserve on average.
Shit.
That's what I meant to say. Entertainment news needs to take itself serious, or
Yeah.
it won't be, it won't be effective. But then when they do something stupid or do something basically they do something that needs to be reprimanded, they'll say, "Oh, it's just entertainment news."
Yeah, a lot of these guys, bro, are basically the star pitcher in Double A that thought he was a major league prospect until he hit the majors, and that fastball that went over in Double A. A lot of these major league guys can get around on it, and they basically hit him, 480 to dead center field. That's what it is. And then all of a sudden, the pitcher's like, "Oh shit, I thought that was a good pitch." That's who these people are, man.
Yeah, it's kind of like the worst team in the NFL would fucking run the clock up 100-0 to like your average best college football team. Would run the fucking score up, and that's what reality is.
That's right.
The NFL team, like this is who you're going to be in your future, and so when you keep up, like if you're certain people in like YouTube, it's nearly impossible for you to have a regular life because you lied about too much shit. So now everybody's going to be looking at your every fucking step whenever they catch you out in public. Like that's the type of shit you build for yourself. Once you keep building this whole world of shit that you're supposedly the person of, that's what happens, man. And they don't get that this shit was never supposed to last like this.
People don't act like people don't recognize voices. Like a lot of people have distinctive voices. You gonna catch somebody that sound like somebody, but like, hold on. And all you gotta do is give a little hint and just say their YouTube name in a different direction and see how they react to it. But like, what it is him? Okay, I got him. Like, like I'm a bitch on the internet, but I'm a real dude in real life. Like, no, dog, it don't work like that.
And it's like, man, you got so many dudes trying to play the street shit on the internet, and it's like,
yeah, it's like you want to get indicted, my man.
what do you do? It's like, okay, so let me get this right. The street motherfuckers don't want to be known as the street motherfuckers, but people come onto the internet to be the street motherfucker. Like, how does that work? How?
It's crazy.
I don't get it, man. I don't fuck get it. I don't.
Characters, man.
Yeah, they are.
It's weird. No, it's weird, and I mean, it's strange, and I mean, and I gotta give it to Aegon because it is tough sometimes, but it seems that sometimes saying or stating the obvious is the hardest because of what you were saying or what you were thinking or what we're talking about. Sometimes it just seems like it's so obvious that people are not or can't be what they say they are. And because it's so easy and so evident, people just don't say it. And it's very strange.
Yeah, they donate money. They want to believe in the character because they want. It's like they want to believe in the character because they want to be a character also. So after they believe in that person's character, they become a character.
Yeah,
And anybody that's against that, you're against the belief for character. So you're the problem.
Well, it's funny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
No, you go ahead, Marco.
Thanks, GC. Yeah, but it's funny also because I don't know if you caught this, but I was really truly laughing listening to the playback because there was a point in the stream where you were repeatedly asked to come up, to turn your camera on, to show yourself.
Such whole shit. Like,
Yeah.
but the funny thing is that some of the people that were saying that are not coming up themselves. So I just thought it was very ironic that some of the people on the panel don't show themselves are also really going hard at him for something that they don't do themselves. I just thought that it was the funniest thing I've seen.
yeah, and like, here's the thing. Camming up doesn't make your argument better or worse. It really doesn't. It doesn't. It's either your argument makes sense or it don't. You camming up and making up, it doesn't matter if you have no teeth in your fucking mouth. If what you're saying is basically fucking true beyond reasonable doubt, it doesn't matter how you look. Like, the only way that it would matter how you look is to bitches who want to be like, oh, well, you're not a 10 out of 10. How could your truth be true? And it's like, that's the type of stupid shit that they want to actually try to put on factual information. They want everything to be based on anything but factual information and shit you can actually see. So let me answer this question by Lotus Scalper here. Can you clearly lay out what you want? Do you want marriage, kids, and the laws to change? I don't require any of that stuff to change. I just play a game outside of the control of all three of those things. I don't have to worry about things like marriage or children, or I don't have to worry about any of that. I could quite easily have a kid in another fucking country, have it raised by the best people, and just pick it up whenever I want to. I don't even get worried about stuff like that. Because obviously I'm not going to be able to do business here in the United States. And it's not even going to happen by mistake either. So, yeah. I mean, but, I get it. It's just like, like a lot of people, especially women, like, well, what do you want then? I'm like, I haven't asked for anything because I don't want anything specific from the person who's most likely asking. Because to them, there has to be a reason to satisfy what I'm saying. And sometimes there isn't.
Right.
Yeah, they really don't want to answer. They just want to find a way to get in.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of like, okay, if I answer a certain way, then all of a sudden, but what about this, and what about this, and what about this, and what about this? It's kind of like a little kid and like the but why question. And at some point, you got to tell this kid to shut the fuck up.
Because they only saying that but why because they don't respect the fact you can hurt them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, it's funny.
Yeah, I had to get my troll on. I had to get my troll on towards the end too, man. I had to because it was bombarding. So I was like, it was a guy that got up there who was really obese, man. I had to get at him because he was I didn't mean to go on him that hard, but like I can't stand it when somebody's trying to talk to me and there's a person, if me and a person have a disagreement, and then there's a third party that's like bigging up what he's saying, but like the dude's were louder than Angry Man's messages. Like so I'm trying to listen to Angry, I hear I'm like that it just flipped me, and I was like, I'm about to get I have to get him out of here.
It's kind of like when BGS does that shit too. When people are talking.
That's very
like,
condescending.
nigga.
That's very condescending.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, that would happen for like 2 seconds in real life. Are you done?
What did the chicks go?
Oh my god.
Well, it's the old timey church thing. Like in the black church, there's always somebody, and there's always somebody that says, "Well," so basically, he's practicing for Sunday. Like,
And they shake their hand in the air when they hear something they really like.
Oh,
exactly.
Oh man,
that was I think that's what you feel most bad about, isn't it? I mean, because at one point it seemed like you wanted, like, okay, maybe you didn't feel so good about talking to this gentleman like that.
Well, yeah, because they also black men also, and I feel like sometimes I dip into my emotions a little bit too much, where I need to be more reserved, or like like, 'cause I used to lose it when I was younger, like very emotional, like a bitch, and like I feel myself getting there sometimes, and I'm like, did I handle that correctly? Like, because like I'm older, I can't be like snapping on people, like and going for jugglers that fucking hard, you know.
Hey
But
man, but
it,
some people need it though. It's kind of like this. Like
that's
there wasn't like 70-year-olds who stepped up and said, "Man, get this nigga the fuck out of here." Like there wasn't that shit that happened. That's not what happened. Everybody just sat around like, "Oh shit, I wish I could be respected among bitches someday." Like this
Man.
guy. It's like, get the fuck out of here, man.
But there was one that I thought that it was it was the typical Aegon questions that I call that really also stuck with me was when you gave the scenario about the gentleman saying that I am a founder, okay, therefore I can check anybody else that comes after me. Okay, I am whatever.
No,
I'm 2.0, therefore I can check anybody that comes after.
no.
And then when Aegon said, well, does that mean that the one that came before you can come and check you? I
Yeah,
thought that was very,
Yeah,
very clever. Very
that
clever.
got sidestepped.
and what I did, and this is why I repeatedly bring on Wacky World of O whenever he's on, because he's 1.0.
Mm-hmm.
Mike B, 1.0 dudes who've been around here since the beginning. So it's kind of like these dudes from 2.0 have kind of carved in their own exception, where they're magically able to criticize but not be criticized by anybody.
Who said you? Who says you know what black male productivity is? Like,
Okay, all right.
it's like what? I'm just talking about the game.
You what it is? You need a starter, ride and die bitch.
Yeah, you need
That
a
was
starter
funny.
finisher chick.
That was a funny question.
A ride and die. You need a starter, ride and die. You can't just
And
go for a ride and die
and I
straight
was
up.
like, so is anybody here on child support? He's like, yeah. And I was like, so your ride or die put you on child support? He's like, well, she's a ride or die when you with her, but not when you're not with her. I'm like, hold on. I know how words work.
Well, I mean, did you
I
choose?
died quick. Well,
Are you
Right,
But
serious?
he's
The ride is over.
yeah, ride or die. It's something in between.
Oh no, there was a ride and he died. That's what happened.
No,
Well,
I
well,
mean
the
like
other chick,
no, they're at like the
she's starting
respawn
child
point.
support check. Basically, she's his first child support check that he has to pay, not his
Yeah.
last.
wow.
None of this shit makes sense. That's all I'm saying.
And the thing is, I wasn't trying to shame bros for being on child support. Anybody could be put on it by a woman that's just on some shit. Just saying that, like, we was basically debating legalized marriage and how stupid it is because I was talking about the author of the book. Like, you kind of you kind of messed up because like you're 50 years old and you get into this bad situation. You're supposed to be wiser than this. And he's like, he living his life, and it was like, oh, we on some general shit. Like we trying to be cool with everybody today. Like the standards is out the window. And I was talking to Coot about that. I was like, as soon as we don't have integrity or standards, it's gone. I mean, we can't come back to it, and everything goes. Everything goes. Everything is for sale. You can't do it. You can't. Like, let's bring in the alphabets. Let's bring in the alphabet soup people because they winning more than anybody else.
Oh, that was another good point. That was very, very clever as well. Good job, Aegon.
I mean, but you have to recognize that they spent their entire lives making sure that they dodge conversations with people like us. The point of their entire lives was to be strictly surrounded by niggas like themselves.
Yeah, and it was like
That's it. Yeah, that's the only thing they wanted to do.
The internet and the market said, nope, we putting y'all together. If you want to make money, you going to have to interact with these people.
That's the thing that they hate, because in their real life they only deal with people at their level or underneath, because their level of questioning or their level of game only works for those types of people. Because somebody who basically makes $200K a year doing whatever they're doing ain't gonna put up with 1% of the shit that they make everybody else put up with. Because they're like, man, this is just a waste of time, man. You know?
All right, man. Let me give you an example, Eroy. All right, so I was up in Maine, and
We was on Algonquin Beach, and like this guy was obviously trying to hang around and trying to make a sale off the people like in my group because we was at like a business function, right?
Sure.
And this guy was like, he asked him a whole bunch of questions and all this kind of stuff. The guy sounded pretty confident, and then like the guy just started asking him basic questions about the functionality of what he was selling. And the dude, and the whole thing kind of fell apart. Now he was a white dude, but I'm like, damn man, this is how these game niggas look, man. The moment you start questioning the validity and the outcomes and the process of how this shit works, because he said a whole bunch of generalized bullshit. But this is a seasoned fucking dude. This dude is this dude is not no fucking pushover, even though he was dressed like one. But we just came from the fucking beach. But it's like these people really think that everybody are just marks to be fucking just taken advantage of, and you're just not gonna be able to do that shit with everybody.
Another part that popped in my mind in that book, he said that some people are called dating experts and dating coaches. I'm not called that. He said I call myself a harsh truth sayer, and I'm like, he really feeling himself right now. A harsh truth sayer, really? Like people don't realize that words have meanings. A harsh truth sayer.
What's
Like,
the hard truth?
Well, here's a harsh truth that he's going towards is that you guys are fucked and you need my information, which is going to make you even more fucked. The harsh truth is there's no end to this fucking rabbit hole.
But
The harsh truth is if you walk through this fucking door, you're going to be leaving out in fucking boxes like a fucking cow on a fucking assembly line with that ticket in his fucking ear. That's what it's going to be like. You guys are going to go down this conveyor belt and you coming out in boxes. That's what it's going to be like.
Well, another harsh truth too is that there's people that are not really, they're not necessarily, because if you're yelling, it means that you're right, or that the other person necessarily is just going to say, oh, okay, you're right, my bad. It's not happening. And then like Aegon said, the market brought everybody, or the space, everybody together. And that's what it was.
For a very specific reason.
And that's where it gets funny. Because you can
and it's not because he's right. It's because he's dead fucking wrong.
So you can, like you said, when you pick and choose, okay, I'm only going to talk to these 6 people because they're going to just echo what I say. But when you can't do that, and that's when it becomes an issue, it seems like.
The funny thing about it is that it's like you can tell it's a cultural thing, because it's like these people come from they embrace a culture where basically you can lie for 20 years because the people did that to them. So it is like it's my turn to step up. But the internet said no, you can't lie for 20 years because we got instant facts right now, and they can't handle it. They always end up backtracking and end up yelling at people because it's like you're not gonna get your day in the sun where you can say whatever and it means something. It's kind of like living with a parent and whatever I say goes, and then they become adults. It's like whatever I say goes. It's like no, we gonna fact check this.
Because I said so. You mean that? Because I said so. That's why, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, have you guys seen the movie My Baby's Daddy? Like, it's an old movie. It's like from 2003 or something, shit like that.
No, I've never seen it. My Baby's Daddy.
Yeah, it's called My Baby's Daddy. It's with Anthony Anderson.
Oh yeah, I've seen that with Method Man and Anthony Anderson.
Yeah. Yo, you remember Eddie Griffin's like baby mama in that video, bro, or in that movie? She was like.
Oh yeah. You talking about that? You talking about that baby mama movie that Eddie Griffin played in?
Yeah. She was like a street hood chick. Right, and all of a sudden, like he tried to be like down with her, and she was kind of like pushing him to the left and shit like that. And these types of dudes are going to basically call a dude like Eddie Griffin a dude that really didn't stick in there, and he wasn't game enough and shit like that. The best thing he did in that movie was to leave his environment and find a better chick. And these dudes are basically saying, "Oh, well, he ain't got that extra juice kind of shit. No, man, like that bitch.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
shit.
yeah. But you know what though? Shout out to MOT. Shout out to you brothers on the panel, man. I realized something yesterday from that panel, man. That's why I was trying to separate the brothers, the ones who actually come with information that's worth the damn. I kept trying to get them to get on, on the subject of, come on, you got to get out of this game shit at some point. Younger brothers, listen to this. All we kept hearing was knock a bitch. I'm a fuck a hoe. And that's why Smooth came up there. That shit is crazy, bro. I kept trying to tell brothers, and I wasn't gonna leave Aegon up there to the wolves, I was like, man, bro, like it's just crazy, man.
Zach held me down. Zach held me down. We was double dragging up there.
Oh yeah, man.
For sure, man. Yo, and shout out to Zach because he was the guy that basically went on a Platinum's panel and was like, look, man, I'm going to run the shit my way. I don't give a shit what a bitch thinks. You were the only one that said that shit, bro.
Man.
Everybody was like, fucking
that's why I went up there and I said my one fucking phrase and I left. What I said was, these hoes are finished. These niggas are too. Let them down the fucking vine. You guys have a nice day.
Yeah, I think that. And you know what was crazy, man? Aegon, he was being humble enough, but they kept, bro. I tried to tell him. I say, bro, Aegon gonna go 100 miles and running. Y'all keep pushing him. He was pretty much, being cordial. My thing was, at some point, you got grown ass man embracing this street thug shit, this player hood shit. That shit is pathetic, man. You got younger brothers in this space, and all we talking about is pussy and fuck a bitch. Are you fucking serious, bro?
Yeah, and it's like these are the representatives of fucking nigga Life Up University, man. That's what these dudes are. Successful graduates, man.
I've been meaning to ask you, and what would the mascot look like for this said university?
Oh shit! Get out of there!
You have to come up.
The hyena is the mascot.
Yeah, hyena. Yeah.
A dude and a chick basically pushing a stroller kind of shit.
Is it like Joey from Baby Boy?
That's what the mascot would look like.
And it's crazy because Aegon was pretty much saying, look, man, like, this shit is not productive, man. We up here talking about it. It was kind of crazy. So I kept saying, like, man, let's bring some balance to the panel, tone it down, because these guys are older, man. These guys are fucking 45 plus. This shit is sickening, man. Yeah. It's pathetic, man. Like,
hey, man, you're talking about astrophysics to like dudes outside the liquor store, man. Dude, they ain't trying to hear that shit.
But you know what's crazy? You got MOT, he show trucking, he give out the information. I've never seen MOT cam up, flaunt money, flaunt his house and all. Like, come on, get the fuck out of here, bro. That was crazy, man. So I was pretty much trying to see, and it was crazy because a lot of these guys are older. That just show you how deep this shit go, man. So it ain't the younger dude. It's really not.
They require the women being in charge. That's the only way they can act like this. That's the only way they can act like this. If the women are in charge. Like in any other fucking society, these dudes would be outside, where they fucking sign selling pencils from a fucking cup. They'd be fucking homeless. Or fucking confined to like Death Island and fucking like New York.
Wow. Another one.
We would never let them niggas out of there amongst the fucking populace. Like, no.
Another one that I heard that was pretty interesting was when they were coming at Aegon. It was like, well, have you ever had a girl do this for you or that for you? Has a woman done this for you?
Yeah, they was losing.
I'm like, wait a minute. It's like, do you really need a woman to be doing all that shit for you? I thought you was a man.
Nah, but you know what? Aegon handled that pretty good because you heard what he said. He said his girl gave him money, for school. That's way more That's way better than somebody taking a fucking gun for you. What the fuck are we
Yeah,
talking
that
about?
shit was nigga. I
That
didn't.
shit was
I
what?
wish he
Whoa,
never
whoa,
said
whoa,
that.
whoa.
I wish he
Bro,
never said that shit, yo.
that shit was crazy. Have you ever had a bitch take a
I
charge?
didn't hear
What?
like the commentary portion of the conversation. I kind of got out of there because I was already discussing before like the panel came up.
My ears, my
Yeah,
ears.
I fell
Yeah,
asleep.
I had to.
I was really
Oh
trying to.
my god!
I was
Take a
really trying to.
charge so they fuck up a bitch
Yes,
life
man.
because they ain't got their shit straight and they proud of that shit.
Yeah.
Hey, well, read it and weep. And you
Or
know what's
being a
crazy, bro? From what I see, the last line of defense, from what I'm looking at in his space as a guy from the audience, man, is pretty much MOT, Mr. Fantastic, and Game Changer. Somewhat, bro. They the last line of defense for brothers who really saying, fuck that. We gonna do the right thing. We productive guys. We're not gonna get up on here in front of the fucking world stage. This shit is live, bro. They're gonna go back years from now and hear this crazy shit. It's crazy, man. It's
Yo,
crazy.
they're like productive people and people that unproductive or live a criminal lifestyle can't be in the same space. That's why the mafia was like a hidden type thing.
Yeah.
They did fuck shit, but it was in the shadows because it's a terrible contrast because it's like you're not supposed to be in the light, but they're in the light because we have such a dysfunctional culture. And the fact that we want to step into the light, we not gonna get along. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Hey,
It take a lot of guts
And
to
like
stand
bringing
behind
order
that shit.
is always white. Bringing order and like reasonableness is always some white shit to them. Like they don't fucking get it. It's like, dude, listen.
You want to be organized like that white man.
That's it.
Yeah, that's nah. Yeah, I don't like that narrative, bro. That shit is destructive because what you're saying is when a brother is doing the right thing, he's productive, he's focused, he work, he go to school, he in the military, whatever. How the fuck he want to be white because he want to do the right thing, bro? So are we saying that y'all pretty much normalizing this thug shit? I'm not like that, man. You like, come on, man.
Well, that's it. And an easy way to really talk about that argument is if you ever go to a country where everybody's black, like Zimbabwe and stuff like that, well, they also have to go to school, university, and to become doctors and lawyers.
Yeah.
Are they doing a white thing over there? What exactly are they doing?
Right.
Well, you know what?
Here's the other
thing. Oh, go ahead, bro. Sorry about that.
Yeah, man, so here's the other thing. It's like, okay, let's say they get what they want. Like, how does the retirement work? How does the legacy work? Okay, you're the game. Okay, you're the dude with all the game that never worked out for you. So it's like, what we're trying to do is run a factory that puts out shitty products until we completely go out of fucking business. Like, is that what we're doing here?
What it sounds like.
But at some point though, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna do a lot more, especially from the chat on these panels. I'm gonna start speaking out more heavy with this shit. I'm not finna accept this nigga shit. This is the shit I'm trying to get away from. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to accept this ignorant shit, man. I don't want to live like that, man.
Yeah. And I think the thing is, Aegon, you just got to get out there. You got to talk to these. You got to get out there and talk to these.
Go outside. Go outside.
Yeah, you got to go outside, man. You stay in here on YouTube too much, man. On the video games and internet too much, man. You got to go outside. You got to go out there and live and talk to these hoes. You got to kick the hornets. You got to kick the hornets every now and then.
Get some fresh air and some fresh game.
Y'all lost me.
Get some fresh game in your lungs.
Put the router at the door so you can go to the lawn.
That's right.
Get your knock game right, Aegon. You got to get your knock game right.
Yeah, man. You got to go out there and be fucking up sometime, man. You can't do shit right all the time, man.
You know what's crazy?
Wait a minute. I could tell y'all trolling, but are y'all saying that people on the internet is telling people that they spend too much time?
Yes, to go outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
What
to go outside?
Go knock a bitch. Let them tell it.
Go knock a bitch.
Are they knocking a bitch while they say that?
Well, that's it. That's what Zero always makes fun of. Shout out to Zero when he says that. When he says, "All you internet fools, all you internet fools." It's like, wait a minute. It's like,
Yeah.
what are you?
What it is? What it is?
So the
It's
irony
fresh
is
fucking
completely
nigga
wrong.
life up.
Yeah.
It's fresh fucking nigga life up information, man. Fresh. Right off the presses, man.
Yeah.
2020, bro. 2020.
And you
Straight
know,
from Team
you know what's
Aida.
crazy? This is the new narrative that's finna come out, bro. Because I'm starting to see the atmosphere, the space. You know, people are starting to separating. I mean, people are separating pretty much based upon their mentality, man. You got people who think it's okay to promote this thuggery shit. This is shit that I personally got away from. But I see the narrative coming that, oh, you guys who did it right think you're so high and mighty and you think you're so good, you know, and it's pretty much gonna be one of those things where the guys who really feel like they real and they street and I'm a real nigga and all that, they pretty much gonna come after the guys who really don't even talk like that. That's what I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, man. It's already happening now with down south with motherfuckers like doing like home invasions and shit. Like that's where that shit comes from.
Yeah.
Goofy ass shit like that, man. You know, like trying to send their fucking trying to send their infected girlfriend in first. You know what I'm saying? To scope the fucking layout, and all of a sudden the niggas are jumping through the goddamn windows.
Yeah. You know, and to be honest, Marco is a great example that A doesn't equal B. That technically you can be successful with women and have money at the same time. This whole thing that like, okay, like you can't be a square, you can't be a natural and get good quality product is completely destroyed by a dude like Marco, because Marco is basically showing the fact that he's getting better women than these dudes can dream of, and he's doing his thing, man.
You mean I'm not? You need I'm not an awkward dummy because I have money? What is it? What's
No, but you know what though? You know what? Marco is a genuine guy. He be on these panels. He get along with all of us, man. Like he never really down nobody. I can give him that. Like, but it's this fucking narrative that, oh, like what pissed me off kind of yesterday, and I said it, but a lot of people was over talking. Oh, you only been with 5 women. Well, he did it right. He didn't have to run through a bunch of women to fucking realize that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Because the guy, he had established relationships. That's the right thing to do. Who gives a fuck about how many women you've been with?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the
They do.
I don't understand that. Man. I don't understand that.
They do.
Yeah, they dick police more than anybody.
Yeah, the point that I was making, Marco, is in this space, you're either classified as an educated lame because you're successful, or you're classified as a dude that's got plenty of game but don't got money like the educated lame.
Yeah.
And game compensates for lack of financial success. Now you're showing that you can have money and have women at the same time, which basically blows their narrative right out of the water.
Well, you know what's funny is that it's rarely true when they put these labels on people. Like they'll put the label of educated lame on, say, Obsidian. But, you know, he's not educated. You know, so basically, if you're not,
he's a self-taught lame.
Yeah,
he's a real red.
A Wikipedia lame.
I mean, so you know, and I'm not shooting at Obsidian. I'm just saying, like, you know, they will put the, you know, the game gods or whatever label on guys who aren't really successful with women. So basically, a more accurate label would be those who promote this lifestyle and those who don't, those who reject it.
Yeah, but see,
right.
what I was trying to get them to realize, that all the shit that they was talking, like they got it all figured out and they so smart and these women just running behind them. Guess what? You're still gonna get fucked over because you think you're so smart and you got it figured out, but at the end of the day, you don't realize, you know what I'm saying, reality. Reality is, like I said yesterday, black man not getting a good deal. So why are we on here really going back and forth, knock a bitch, I'm a fuck a hoe, fuck that stupid, ignorant shit. Talk like a grown man, you know?
Yeah, and
but you're trying to get
it's allegedly, you know, they're just saying that they're getting, we don't actually have any evidence of that whatsoever.
That's true. That's true.
The
But I really don't give a fuck.
The problem is, Zach, that you're trying to sell apples to people that want oranges. The shit is, it don't work. Even though you're making perfect sense, like I said with Aegon, there ain't no saving nobody like that, man.
Yeah, that's true. But you're not gonna shit on the brothers who do the right thing. Like even even when I'm at work, I listen to the streams, I listen to all of y'all shit, and you guys really don't say hating ass negative shit. But for some reason, these guys, and I don't want to label, I don't want to paint a broad brush and really label dudes, but come on, man, we really worried about pussy when there's a lot of other shit that's going on in the world.
Like
You
a
know what I
pandemic,
mean?
right? Like a pandemic,
Right,
right?
man. And
Man, but what they don't
elections coming
understand
up.
is, man, like once you get your shit together, you can have all that shit you want
That's
to.
right.
But to them, they're like, you know what? I got access to this low quality shit, so I'm still not gonna get my shit together. So technically, I'm at the end goal already. And then they have to live the rest of their life at the fucking bottom. It's like, nigga, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because when I always wonder when they say, "Well, I got a woman." Well, let's see the hoe. Let's see what it looks like, and then we'll determine if it's a woman or if it's just a fucking creature.
Well, what was that? What was that one guy who had a woman? The one who called a previous acquaintance of mine.
Oh yeah.
You know that one guy?
Yeah, we remember that one. We remember
He
that
had
one.
that crazy chick on there.
Huh?
Yeah,
He had that crazy drunk chick. She looked like she was high.
No, we weren't talking about that. We're talking about something else, Zach. Not last night.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about. That's last night. No, but I get what you're saying. Exactly. Yeah, but it's weird how the people that have the most, or they have it all figured out, they can do us. Apparently, they have all the answers and all the systems to conquer just about anything. Because with that information, as they call it, the knowledge, they could just really the sky's the limit. Yet they don't even show that they've gone up a couple of steps.
They can't figure out how a
Like,
camera
look.
works.
Yeah, they're like, look, the sky's the limit, but I'm gonna sit here crawling on the ground though. Fuck y'all mean? I'm winning. Bottle bearing bitches for life.
I could if I wanted to, but I don't want to. I could, of course I could. I could, but I just won't.
Yo, I think I was like 25, and I couldn't stop laughing because I was reading Jack and the Beanstalk to my daughter, and because it hit me how funny that story is, because the mom told the boy to go to this market because that's all they had was a cow, and he came back and she was like, "Okay, where the money at?" He's like, "I got something better than money." He pulled out 3 beans, and he's like, "You sold the cow for beans? No, these are magic beans." And like that was their last of everything. I couldn't stop laughing.
That's funny.
That's all they do. Like he really like killed his family because somebody hustled him out of his cow.
The magic beans. And the other thing that I also found out last night was that if you do not make more money than a specific person, then you can't talk about them. You can only talk about people that are below you. Do you remember that one too, Egon?
Man, these dudes make up so many rules when they wrong.
Bro.
Wrong nigga rules, man. Wrong nigga rules.
You know what? Egon handled himself pretty well, though.
It's kind of like white people at a certain point. Like they like start making, they'll have a set laws, and then when the laws get overcame by people that's not supposed to beat them, they switch it up and then fuck up the whole system.
Yeah, man. Yo, like when I was talking about Black Pill and MOT was on that stream. Like every time these guys get caught up in their bullshit ass in their bullshit strategy, because they'll argue from a point until they realize that point is about to basically go get nuked, and then they'll basically start moonwalking and completely change the frame of the argument to basically say something. It's like, but
what they don't realize, what they don't realize is the way I set up the argument is that I've already burned the lifeboats that they're gonna try to fucking hop into. Like,
Like the Titanic.
They were here.
yeah.
They were here.
like no man. Like I cut them shits down already,
They're
and the
always
lifeboats are
here.
probably about 3 miles from where the fuck we are.
Yeah, no, but after that argument, it's like you can't talk about this man because he's more successful than you because you don't have. But then again, Hugh Hefner, he's a trick. Fuck him. It's like,
Yeah,
wait a
man.
minute. You can't talk
Yeah,
about
exactly.
It's like,
I don't
how can
under-
you clown a trick? He got exactly what the fuck he paid for.
But
No,
it's
He
like
paid
you
for
talking
an
about him.
interaction and he left. And they're like, but he didn't earn it for free though. And she just go give the money to me. I'm like, the same bitch you ain't running is gonna give you all this money. All right,
and
man.
you know what's crazy. You know what's crazy though. Like I was really kind of tripped out at the fact. Oh, you haven't had enough women. You only had 5 bitches. What the fuck is that?
I'm
What
like,
type of shit is
diseases,
that?
like diseases aren't going down.
What
Like
the fuck was that?
I always
man?
had it in my mind. Like I know a whole bunch of people because I went to high school, went to a black high school. Sex was popping, and I wasn't doing it. So, but I knew diseases was out, and that'd be the most salty moment. Be in the doctor's office, and they'd be like, "Yo, you got this," and then you gotta have that long
Yeah.
moment of quietness. So I always like had that in my head, and I'm like, so I'm supposed to girl to like have a whole bunch of sexual partners and roll the dice, because
No, that's called being reckless, man.
right. Because what blew my mind was the fact that when I found out like you could get herpes from kissing, and I was like, oh hell no.
Scared the shit
Now
out you,
y'all,
didn't it?
now y'all see why I am how I am about stuff like that.
But
I agree
yeah, I
with you.
mean, they just go to prove, you know, just to show that they're a whole bunch of Mr. Ruckuses, you know, DC Curry, you know, you walk around this motherfucker trying to do something. Wait, hold on, nigga, you trying to beat shit? What the fuck?
Right.
I tell you can't beat shit.
That's white boy shit. You getting money?
Yeah.
You on some white
And,
boy shit.
and,
But look
you
at
know
me stunt though.
right, and you know what's crazy? Like a lot of people, like it's been like this for like a month and a half. Like guys taking shots at Game Changer, and he never cracked under pressure. Like he's never out of line or he's never disrespectful. I find that interesting that all these quote unquote street guys, they want to call certain guys out because of the way they carry themselves. But to me, it's like I've been saying, it's not cool to be an ignorant, loudmouth nigga. It's not cool. Like, who gives a fuck? It's not cool to be like that, man. Like, I don't understand that, bro.
Yeah,
Well,
but they're like, what does Zach know? 20 years from now, he'll be one of us. Let's just keep doing what we doing, fellas.
Yeah.
All right, that's what the motherfucker be on.
Yeah, you ain't going
well,
nowhere.
they attack me because you know I am the epitome of everything that they hate and against.
Yes.
Basically, a self-confessed nerd that's proud of it. You know, I was the
Yeah.
first one in this space to do that, and they're like, "No,
And
you're supposed to be ashamed. You're supposed to be trying to be like we're trying to be, you know, in order to, you know, get this pussy that we claim to get." Like,
and you outwardly say that you don't like fat bitches, and that's why them niggas are really hot. Though.
and that's another thing. You know, I also preach standards. I also preach standards, and you know, so there's a lot, like, you know.
Well, and it's sometimes Game Changer, I think that you're being a little bit perhaps too, I don't know, you're dismissive because you're really dismissive the fact that, and I mean, knocking or getting an invisible bitch, I mean, that's got to be some hard shit. I mean, how the hell do you know where she's at? I mean, how do you talk to her? I mean, she's invisible. You got to have some serious skills to knock these invisible bitches.
But you know what though? Game Changer, he can speak up when he wants to. I've seen him really put people in their place, but I don't like the fact that you guys want to say personal shit about him and try to go after him. But it's just crazy. Like,
I mean,
why
but
you
they never
bothering
want to
him,
go
man?
out the one-on-one though. Like, dude, like
yeah,
they
man.
never want to hop up on a panel. They always doing some goofy shit in the chat or I don't like this dude. Okay, why? It's kind of like that that stream that I was on with a lot of people where the first thing out of their mouth was yeah, well, I don't like this motherfucker. He shouldn't be here. And I'm like, but you hang with a pack of niggas and ain't nobody trying to throw you out the fucking door. But you want to throw all the motherfuckers out of here. And it's like, who the fuck are these? And they just proved because I blew the top on the shit. You motherfuckers ain't for thinking black men. You are for these fucking
hoes. You niggas have always been for these hoes. And the only thing
Yep.
that they were always like, dude, 3 years ago, where the fuck you think this Pookie and Ray Ray shit come from? Warrior class of the community shit come from? It's the same motherfucking prison scholar and this little band of fucking nigglets who are fucking saying the same goofy shit over and over again. They get trapped. They get trapped. All of a sudden, they talk about fat bitches and pounds that they done fucking hit. I'm like, I don't give a fuck that you put away a ton of bitches. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care. And they're like, but you must care because that's all I've ever done with my life. And I'm like, oh, nigga need a
But you know what?
hug. What is wrong with these people?
But you know what, MOT though? Where's the standard as men doing the right things, being productive? We talking about guys who wake up every day like myself. I go to work. I pay my
Whoa,
own
whoa, whoa.
bills. I don't give a fuck
Zach,
about these
You
bitches.
trying to
Zach.
be
I don't give a
shit.
fuck
You
about
trying to
these
be
bitches,
Yeah,
man.
there you go. There you go.
Trying to be
You
shit.
doing
Oh,
you doing
okay.
shit the hoes don't like. Why would you do
That
that,
ain't the
Zach?
point, man. We decent brothers. We gonna act like it. I'm gonna stand on it. I got pride that I do the right thing. You know, I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck. You ain't gonna talk that nigga shit to me and think you so smarter than me, like you know every fucking thing. And that's what they do. They try to shoot you
Yep.
down when you a decent brother. I don't like that shit. That's a bad atmosphere for this space. Because what that tells me is you got younger brothers that come in here, and these guys, they don't know which way to go because they hearing so much fucked up rhetoric from a bunch of loudmouth niggas who really think they smarter than everybody over a bitch. I'm past that, man. You know,
What it
I'm
is,
past
man.
that.
What it is, man. Like, they're just thinking black maggles, trying to fucking look like thinking black men. That's the only point here. It's like that's the only fucking point. And it's like you have to realize that these motherfuckers come online with the street persona. You know goddamn well these motherfuckers ain't running around they little ass fucking city on some set tripping shit. They ain't doing that. No fucking way.
Nah, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
You
Yeah,
know,
man,
one
like what they do is they come online and they be a fuck nigga because they know you can't immediately die over that shit. In your
you
city, you be a fuck nigga. There are consequences like a motherfucker for being a fuck nigga, for real. Here, here it's like fuck nigga exhibition. Everybody like gets in the phone booth and they come out as a fuck nigga, and it's like I'm gonna play this specific fuck nigga today. It's fucking crazy, man.
well, one scene came to mind. Do you guys remember that movie? Don't Be a Menace to South Central.
Yeah. Am I
When
drinking your juice?
yeah, remember the OG played by Antonio Fargas
Yeah.
Yeah.
when he was like the OG and he was like the old guy in the gang and stuff. And then they was like, "Hey, let's go down together." I was like, "Oh no, I can't go, man. My mom won't let me leave the porch." Right? But come on, let's hold down the porch, man. Let's hold down the porch. So
Let's hold a push down.
Grown ass man.
this particular the porch will be YouTube or just hold this down. I'm gang banging right here. This is what
Man.
I'm doing. So that's what I picture all of a sudden.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I wasn't
what's
gonna
up,
let
y'all?
nobody gang up. What's up, spiritual? I wasn't gonna let them gang up on Agon, bro. I wasn't gonna let them gang up on him for the simple fact, you know, we all talk to Agon, bro. He never, like I said, bro, the way y'all guys carry yourself in real life, you're gonna get far. You can do business with real people because, you know what I'm saying, you down to earth, but this hood shit thinking you got game and you slick talking, people don't trust you. That is some nigga shit. That's a fact, bro.
Exactly. If I could offer some advice, man, and trust me, I've been on there. I try to reason, I try to talk. You just can't do it with these people. Like if you notice that once somebody came at me sideways, I have not been on that thing again, and I'm not going back on there. If they want to talk,
I
they'll
feel
come
you.
to a space where men are respected, where the topic and conversations are relevant. I'm not getting into no shouting contest like a 5-year-old girl about something that doesn't make any sense. But see, they want you in that space because in their hierarchy, that's that emotion and that baseless emotion is what rules. So they want to suck you in over there. They need us over there. We don't need them. They need us because they're irrelevant. They will cannibalize each other without us being over there. So they try to bait and switch us over there with topics because they want to invoke our subconscious, our thought process. Because they're like, oh, they just have a topic that we can easily debunk. Because like most of us know, they don't have any topics. They just put the topic up there, but they don't have any argument against the topic that's rational. or reasonable. It's just let's try to bring them over here and then we can debate. But it's not a debate. It's a shouting
kind of like
contest.
yesterday. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like yesterday. When Platinum, emailed me about, hey, could you explain to me what a pookie is? I'm like, okay,
you nigga.
I'm like, yeah. So
Buy a mirror.
So, as a general concept, like, you want to talk about this over email? And then I looked at it like, oh shit, they up there, and then they brought niggas from the nigga contingent, so I had to just walk in like the fucking machines on the fucking Animatrix, like turn over your flesh and just boom.
Man, it's trying to explain to a fish that they're wet. They're so ingrained in this thought process until they don't even realize that this is their reality. This is all they know. And so when you go against their existence and rationalize their poor existence, they're going to naturally have an emotional response because this is all they know. Like it's YouTube. YouTube gives them a platform where imagination and fantasy rules. And see, we live in the real world where we have real consequences for our behavior and real, consequences for bad choices. So we're dealing with what we know is actually real. They're dealing with fantasies. It's like this, it's just like their approach with systematic issues. It's just like their approach with anything. They always will deny personal responsibility because at the end of the day, they don't want to be accountable and responsible for what they do. It's always has to be based on some validation with a female or some ability to be a victim. And so it's that mindset it's too weird, man. It's a strange dynamic. It's almost like, you're talking to a child that only knows their imagination. And so they're not understanding the laws of reality and real issues and real consequence. They just know what they feel and this like mythical reality in their world where, whoever yells and whoever acts like they're the toughest wins. But that only works on the internet.
Sounds like a female to me.
You know what, spiritual though? But see, this is the thing. From a guy from the chat to the panel, I'm pretty much a guy in the audience. The thing is with me, I agree on everything you're saying. Don't feed into the ignorant shit. But see, this is the thing. This shit went haywire when people started getting too comfortable. Because I remember months ago, it was a lot of us on these panels. Y'all remember Marco, MOT? It was real cordial when we was over there. Now it turned into some other shit that people are normalizing. And if I'm around, if it's some ignorant shit, I'm gonna speak up.
Well, that's because they're using the original people who started the mess, and they're using those as like some fake attack guard dogs to be like, if you notice, there's a bunch of favoritism to certain people in these spaces where they only act like that when they have their backup around. We all know what this is, and it's like.
Can you believe this dumb nigga asked me to debate him again on equipment? I'm like, dude, a microphone is not going to solve an unstable internet connection issue. The end. I'm not coming on Prophet of Thought series and debating your dumb ass because you didn't debate Fantastic. You just got out there and said a whole bunch of goofy shit, and it's like, dude, I'm not with that. Right. I'm not going to debate that. Okay, not going to do that.
You know what I think it is? I agree with you, Hawk, on that mindset, but I think that's only half of them. The other half just chose the side of the bitch. They know what they doing is wrong. It's just they just chose their side. Yeah, they chose their side. They're like, fuck it. I don't think that you guys are gonna be winning, so I'd rather be comfortable with getting guaranteed pussy. And
it's not guaranteed. Women. Keep in mind, it's still imagination. Nothing's guaranteed in their world. Nothing's guaranteed. They're just talking. They need the audience to believe what they're saying. That's why when you challenge it, they get so much vitriol because they need you to believe it. They need you to believe they're the most gangster, that they get the most women, even though they're hoes. They need you to believe their narrative, and that's what this is all about.
Right? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say
I really don't care. Right.
It's not about it's definitely not about actually proving that they are what they are. It's about just the idea of it. They can sell that idea. They can sell you that dream of bullshit, and that's all they want to do. They just want to sell that bullshit to you. I mean, I know Hulk, you said, you know, they really don't have any topics. No, they've got one particular topic. You know, it's 1,001 ways to get at a bitch. That's the only topic they got. That's it.
Volume 1. Volume
yeah, 101.
And let's not forget to get at a female that they have to constantly wrestle with. They have to constantly approach in a position of weakness.
Yeah.
While at the same time saying that you can get them to do whatever.
Yeah,
exactly.
You say you have complete power.
They ain't gonna leave me. They gonna fuck with me the long way. Even though I done been divorced 3 times, but they gonna fuck with me the long way.
Man, all
I
I'm
know
just saying
exactly
is,
what I'm doing. Look at this track record of failure, guys.
listen, all I'm just saying is, from this point on, man, I think I'm gonna stay off certain panels, man. I'm gonna dumb it down, but I won't stand for the ignorant shit. That ain't what brothers stand for. You got some decent brothers in this space who really about something. You're not gonna try to shout us down and try to talk like you're smart enough just because you got game. Fuck that, bro. Fuck that. I don't give a damn where I'm at. I'm gonna say something. I don't give a fuck.
They don't have game. The girl has all the game.
Exactly.
It's not them. They're doing all the approaching and all the settling for whack ass quality.
Right.
She got the
From a
game,
position
not
of
them.
weakness.
And then and if you
whack ass quality.
well, don't you think that if that wasn't the case, I mean, if they were actually getting great quality, even if it's just aesthetic, just beautiful women, don't you think they'd be showing them all the time?
Like
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like I said yesterday, Marco. Hell, if they even had average on that, I mean, we all know it ain't even a 6. I mean, let's be real.
And that's
that's
what I'm getting at.
They're like, look, a 6 is too high. I got 6 separate ones. It's all about the pussy over here, nigga.
3-2.
A 6, man. I ain't got a ladder that's gonna reach that high. How the fuck am I gonna get that shit?
A 3, a 2, and a 1.
Yeah,
you talking about a 1, bitch? A 6? Crazy, son.
Yeah.
And they don't have no standards. They don't have no standards for themselves. It's like, the reason I want to be self-reliant, and I'm the harshest critic on myself. It is not for a woman. It's not even for society. It's the standards I live up to for myself. But because as a man, I'm built on my own principles, values, and ethics, and I have to meet my own standard before I even qualify myself to be anything in the world. And see, for them, they don't understand that. It's always a woman. It's always their peers. It's never the standards they put on themselves.
Yeah,
they don't have no ambition to themselves. They have no push and drive to be a man just for themselves. If they were by themselves, they wouldn't have an identity.
I said that yesterday. I said, look, I live by myself. I work every day. I only see my kids on the weekend when I'm off. I don't have a woman in my house changing my motherfucking bathroom and having her personal shit around. I like to be by myself because I'm pretty much being disciplined. I don't want to be bothered, especially these stupid ass black women. They fuck up a lot, and I really can't stand the image that black women promote these days. And people say, "Oh man, you red pill rage, man, you bitter, you hurt." No, I'm not. That don't mean shit. I have standard. I'm not gonna stand for this ignorant, dumb shit.
Exactly. Let me tell you, the first enemy I ever had to face is myself. That's the first enemy I had to conquer. My own lack of self-control, my own lack of focus, my own weaknesses. That was my first enemy. And see, they don't want to deal with themselves. They need to deal with the women. They want to deal with society, but they don't deal with the one issue, which is themselves, that allows them to be manipulated, exploited, and controlled by all these exogenous forces. See, I deal with myself. That's why personal responsibility is huge with me, because I understand the enemy within is the only way to defeat the enemies around you.
Right. And they go out here and they tell these young guys, they fuck them up, tell them, well, you just got to go out there and keep talking to them, you can gain confidence. Not wanting to admit, man, look, let's be real. Women are fucking awkward as fuck. You got to be the one to start the conversation. You got to be the one to carry it through and finish it. Well, damn, what the fuck I need you for, bitch? I can carry the conversation by myself.
See, that's that dancing monkey shit. That's that dancing monkey shit that the brothers were talking about in the space. That's that shit they're talking about.
And when does conforming to chaos ever work? When does that ever work?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's
Let me take my trash out, bro. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think that men should talk to women. It's just that you do so with a awareness of what's going on, and that's what the red pill is.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, awareness in a position where you control your environment, and your environment is not, acquiesce. You're not acquiescing to your environment, but you're in a position to control your environment.
Exactly, and
your
that's
personal
where
environment
standards come in. I mean, because if they talk about talk to 34 bitches a day, it's like, wait a minute, I don't see that many women I'm attracted to every day. So you have to talk to several unattractive women, and that's not controlling your environment. That's where that's what they mean when they say you need to talk to more. They don't really talk about quality; they talk about quantity. And they always shit on physical attraction, because basically, and this is why I get a lot of flack from that particular cohort, because, and I didn't even notice coming in. I just, I just have physical standards. But basically what I did unknowingly was I shitted on their life's work, because their life's work is getting into triple digits of fat bitches. No, for real. Like they said,
no, I know.
Yeah, and they've all been women that I've turned down, and that Marco has turned down, and that most of the guys on this panel have turned down in one way or another. So, I mean, that really shits on their body of work. It really does.
Yeah, and then
big body of work.
Yeah, the big body of work.
Yeah, big. and then when you get down to it, I mean, they're trying to push these physically unattractive bras on them, and then I mean, these hoes, they don't even have a freaking good personality. I mean, it's like, damn, you ugly and fat, but damn, you ain't even got a good personality. Damn, you got to have something going for you. You can't be ugly and fucking unapproachable. Fuck.
And it's funny because they put those traits on the attractive ones. Like when they make their arguments, they say, see, these guys, they just focus on looks. Some of these pretty bitches be having fucked up personalities. And they do that as if ugly women have great personalities.
Exactly.
And that's funny because you speak to this game changer when I remember when I was a kid, the fat hoe was the nicest, was the funniest, and was the coolest. But now it seems
Say
like
that
the
again?
fat hoe said that when we were young, the fat hoe was like the funny one and the cool one. She was like, I mean, she was like had the bubbly personality. But now
saying jokes,
like the fat hoe, right? Now
but now they're arrogant because because these guys are creating this environment where women don't have to do anything but basically exactly. And see, that's because they're out of order. That's because they're doing all the begging, and women are taking notice to men stepping outside their position and putting themselves in this begging position. So now women say, well, I'm just a woman. That's why this fat shaming, and women don't have to do nothing but just talking about I'm a woman and all this. And the guys are doing all this work because what it is that these guys don't understand that women should be proving themselves to you because you have already qualified yourself as a man by your own standards and according to society to be able to survive and or thrive. But they don't understand that. They're in this begging mindset where you just have to do enough to beg, and then a woman will select you. Like it's that female choice mindset, which is based on a logical, irrational
They are the real
society.
thirsty niggas, man.
Yeah,
they're the
they
real
really
thirsty niggas calling everybody else thirsty. Like, oh my
and they
God.
don't realize that when you're sex first, women have weaponized sex against men with their mindset. They're weaponized that.
They're gonna do it every time.
I mean, it's so easy and they're so confident because men like us, we're in the fucking minority. Dudes like that, they're in the fucking majority all day.
In the black community. Like in other communities, particularly the Asian communities, you see relationships where the woman is far more pretty than the man is handsome. I mean, when you hear the words Asian porn, you know that they're not talking about men. So, and this is because, they have standards. Even now, where the male population outnumber the women population ridiculously in China, they still maintain standards. You know,
Yeah.
so and it's because we don't, we feel we tie our masculinity to, a woman's pussy.
Anyone at that. Anyone
Yeah,
will do what they
exactly.
need to.
Any woman's pussy.
Anyone will
Yeah,
do.
exactly. So we've given them the power to determine our masculinity
Right.
amongst each other. Just the fact that a woman can, take your pussy away, or she basically can use her pussy to determine who's masculine amongst each other, is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Right.
and I'm gonna tell y'all this what I noticed also about coming on some of these panels. I realized that when they have their squad together, they want people like us to come up there. They're gonna ask you, they're gonna beg you. If you look in the comment section, you're gonna be asked, come on up when they have their backup around because
Well, yeah.
they want you to be drowned out. They want you to the ad hominems to go nuts. They want to yell at you and turn this into an emotional uh chaotic situation. That's why you got to understand that these people don't want, it's not about argument, it's not about making points. This is really about some childhood or adolescent. Look at me, I got more friends than you, or whatever they got.
Yup.
Like I got my backup. It's never about the topic because when you their topics can be, rebutted in 5 seconds. It's like, just change your mindset. But then they, this
No.
whole like I tell them about this game issue. This is the game only exists because basically the structure and values of society have been nuked. And this fallout of people just being in this chaotic situation is game, which means that we don't care about outcomes and results. We just want to sit there and wrestle with the chaos because because I can sit there and put myself in a position to beg. And they don't understand that. They don't realize now men have to control their personal environments. Like the first thing a man should do in such a society where structure is gone is that you need to control yourself and your personal environment. That means don't put yourself in situations where you are not in the position of authority and control. Anytime you have to acquiesce yourself to any mindset other than yourselves, you need to remove yourself from that environment.
Yo, I
You
was
know,
watching my bad, Hawk, my bad, Hawk.
now you good, man. Go ahead.
I was watching this interview with Jaguar Wright. Like she's a singer out of Philly, and she's like exposing the roots right now, regardless if you believe her or not, because the music industry is fucked up, but also artists do dumb shit too. So she said something that stuck out to me, and she was basically talking to these dudes about why she didn't become a rapper. Well, because she was a rapper and she could sing, and she was like because female rappers only have like a 14-year lifespan. After that, they don't get no jobs. Like look at Lil Kim, look at all them. They don't get used like that. But you could die a singer, and then and she was like, I learned that at a young age that basically you got to sacrifice. So and then she asked the dudes that was interviewing her. She was like, would you be homeless right now to become a billionaire? And they was like, is there a guarantee I'm gonna be a billionaire? And she was like,
Wow.
it ain't a guarantee you gonna go home today.
Yeah, wow.
And she
That's
was
crazy.
like, he's like, yo, this is life. It ain't no. She said, you see, you too comfortable. You ain't willing to give all this up to really go for your dreams, even if you fail. And he's like, that's what I read that did that, and I was like, damn, yo, like, would you do that? And that's like the mentality that like most of us basically, if you like were on some outlier shit with your family, you said, fuck it, I'd rather die being me than fucking conforming to this dumb shit. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Ex- Exactly. And like when I tell these guys, like I don't care or think about what a woman wants or what a woman desires. That's not even in my radar because I'm of the opinion that a man should already invest in himself that he knows what is good for him and where his focus and his priorities should be. So right now, when a woman doesn't respect that, she's eliminated herself. Makes it that much easier because you're not going to give up any ground. You're not, negotiating your position because you know what position you have to always maintain. So when I tell guys I'm not caring about what women want and what women think, it doesn't even cross my mind at all because, they are foolish women. Just like they are foolish men, there are foolish women who reject what is right, who reject order and structure and all that. But see, the whole point of men upholding structure is to eliminate all this. This is what we do. This is why we do it because we eliminate people who think like this, who want to bring in the chaos and dysfunction. The structure prevents this from happening. And see, they hate the structure. They hate the fact that when, like in this panel, they wouldn't come over here. They couldn't even utter a word because nothing they have to say would make sense. That's why they want to drag us into their world.
Yo, what's going on, Liam?
Liam.
What's up? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, we hear you, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, he went on mute.
Oh, yeah.
He probably can't hear us. But
Liam
see,
Nelson.
but see, Hulk, here's the problem with what. That's why you're not getting no pussy.
And see, that's the thing, man.
They're
They project their issues. First of all, it's not even, I don't have a problem. It's like the fact that men are thinking that much about something that results when, it's like I don't worry about getting air because I'm doing what I have to do to make sure I'm always breathing. And when you focusing on what should be a result of you doing the right thing, and you make that the cause, it's like I don't focus on women because I'm focused on doing what I need to do, is upholding structure and the certain values in my life that, see, it's not about getting women. It's about bringing women into space and under my structure that I can prevent all this nonsense from even having a place in my life.
That's how you catch a woman. You catch a woman by leading. And that's the thing that a lot of these dudes, you know what I mean?
You know when I realized that getting women wasn't cracked up with what it sounded like, because we all grow up with the people, you don't get no bitches, you don't fuck no hoes. I had a friend he's my teammate. He's the quarterback of my football team. He played a whole bunch of computer games, and he was a good looking dude. I played baseball with him when I was in fourth grade. Also, he's a better baseball player than he was a football player. He got girls like a motherfucker, and he never bragged about it. And he had sex with them, and then I used to just watch him with these women, and it seemed like he was more addicted to it than actually doing it for pleasure. Like he did it for pleasure, but you get what I'm saying? Like, and it wasn't like a good ending. Like, basically, I got her, now like my world is complete, or like basically like it makes me a better person. It's just like
the challenge or the journey. Was it the journey that he was searching? I mean,
he liked women, but it was just like, I'm saying basically to me it was like, so this is it. You get with a girl, you fuck her, y'all end up arguing and then breaking up. Then you do the same thing to the next girl, and I'm like, this seemed like a whole waste of time and energy. Like, and I was like, I'd rather just fall back for a while, And the thing about him is that, like, we still cool to this day. He had a really hard time at like establishing relationships with chicks, like, because he was in that quasi world of being with chicks and then fucking other chicks, but then not telling them, and then he got like a chick pregnant, and then like didn't stay with her, and it was just like, and this dude was getting chicks from like high school, like he was the man. And it was like, it seemed like it was something missing there that he was trying to, because like if you getting women at a young age or any age, you kind of try to fill voids in your life with that shit. Like when you should be doing other things, you could just go fuck on a girl, and then you feel like you accomplished, but you really missing out on something you should be doing besides that.
Well, exactly. See, women are designed to fit in the space that men create for them, not to come in and domineer and take over the whole program. And a lot of times it's really like getting the women was never the problem for most guys. It's actually having the environment that you can control, and from a position of authority where you are, the respect is at the gate. You don't have to earn that. The woman has already been, the woman already has an understanding and respect for you in that position. And it's rare because we know the system, and women are playing off the societal, and lack of culture things that are going on. But still, a man that controls his personal environment and does not acquiesce to the mindset of a woman is going to be respected no matter what. Even if the woman walks away from you, that could be seen as a sign of respect because she knows that she's not in a position of control. And see, men who know how women work in the world work, we don't. When a woman is eliminated, we don't fret. We're actually grateful that we stood our ground, and that woman realized that she can't get a foothold in to control anything over here, because we're not. It's not about them. It never was about them. It's like that's an adolescent mindset when you've been raised under too many women, where that's the highest order in your life. But once you come into an understanding of self, reality, creating an environment that protects you from a lot of this mess out here, you don't even think about that, because it's like, okay, fine, you got a woman. It's like the first couple of times you got a woman, then what? Then what? You're going to continually keep begging and realizing and acquiescing to a illogical society that wants to put women in empower women in mindset to control you, or you're going to realize that every woman is not even worth your time. Men should be rejecting more women than we're bringing in, because if we understand the environment, if we understand the environment that we're placed in, rejection should be a higher form of success for our mindset being in the right place than just allowing us to be a victim of female choice.
How does all these non-quality women fit in motherfuckers' lives? I don't get this shit. I don't get
They
it.
ain't doing
Non-quality
nothing
men.
productive.
Non-quality men want
They got
non-quality
time.
women.
They got time.
All right, man. Well, let me get out of here, man. Let me any last words on Liam
Okay,
Johnson?
what's up? Piece of the panel. I just wanted to say that I wanted to get my piece from like a young man in this space, and it's just like how can you advocate for something like this when you know it has severe consequences, and then try to push this on young men? Because I used to believe in this game PUA stuff until I found your chat, until I found MLT channel, Aegon, Game Changer Zero, and various other channels, right? And it's like how can you try to mislead the young? I just never understood that, because they try to push this on you.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to make it seem like it's cool and there ain't no consequences to this shit, but when there ain't nothing but fucking consequences to this shit. This
Yeah,
whole shit it's a minefield where every fucking square millimeter that you walk is another fucking mine that you step on. So it's like it don't make any fucking sense to like give this shit to like young ass kids, and then you know what they gonna do? If these are the same motherfuckers laughing at celebrities whenever they get divorced and shit, what the fuck you think they're gonna do to you?
exactly.
That's fun. Yo, that's hilarious. Because we know who the cat who be doing that is, man. He do that all the time, and it's like he'll say anything to be down. Like, you know, and I think that's the most dangerous person. Somebody that basically don't believe in nothing, or you don't know what they believe in. Like they just want to make it. They'll do anything to be down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
so
I'm
Jerome,
just saying, as a young ass dude, Liam.
Yeah.
Whoa, what Jerome said? What?
Jerome was asking if anybody's going to start a follow-up stream. I could start one, but I won't be participating much. If y'all want to hop on, I'll just let y'all on and then go to sleep.
All right, thanks for letting us in your house. And really, you're gonna leave us the house and just let us like go in the fridge and shit? Thanks, bro.
I trust y'all.
Right,
I trust y'all, and I'll have a Zone. If you could call me when it's over, like we used to do back in the day, then we could do that.
Thanks.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah, thank you. I'm at work too.
Yeah.
Good looking, man.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Let me set it up now.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah. Just call back or post it in the chat once you are done setting it up.
Okay.
Game changer. All right, Masha. Any last words, man?
No, everything good, man. Hey, I appreciate the information y'all provided. This was great info, and yeah, I look forward to doing this again.
All right, no problem, man. Well, thanks for coming through, man.
No problem, brother.
All right, Asian.
All right, man. No, I just don't really have anything left to provide, but I had a good talk with y'all as always, and just want to say, all the young fellas, just keep man, just stay on a purpose, man, and just keep focused on that. I mean, it's nothing more important than that, than your purpose. Find that purpose and stick to it, and then you can always find you some hobbies, man. Peace.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, because you can't let chasing up behind these non-quality motherfuckers become your hobbies, because this shit will easily become your fucking life as it became theirs. Iori, any last words, man?
Yeah, man. Like for everybody in here, I was thinking about Zach for a second. But we got a lot of good people in this space, bro. And to be honest, like I'm gonna take something out of Lawrence's page a little bit. Shout out to Lawrence. He's been muted, but shout out to you, brother. He said something on a live stream, the last live stream I was on with you. He said, "Look, we're too good for these people, man. Look,
way too good, man.
Our job in this space is to go out here and make $1 million. Fuck all this shit. This shit don't pay nobody's bills. It don't solve no problem. It's basically some people that are addicted to some fuck shit. And, I, for one, along with a lot of other people, won't stand for this shit because we got bigger shit to deal with. You know what I mean? How dare these people basically talk to us and shit? These people can't even make a goddamn coherent argument. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't worried about none of this shit. And for good people like Zach and everybody else out there, man, let's go be successful and make a fucking $1 million. We don't got to worry about no other bullshit other than that.
Yeah, it's just that, man. Like they're at the end of their fucking rope, and we're at the beginning of ours, and we're not gonna be humble about fucking spreading these fucking entrails all over the fucking highway, man. Fuck these dudes. I mean, they have destroyed everything, and so now what we see now is we have to give them what they hate. That's the only option that's left. Give them what they fucking hate. Make more people successful as fuck and not thinking about the shit that makes them have all the power. Fuck them. So, Aegon.
Hey, thank you for having me on, man. I dig that y'all watched the stream over, and I was going to try to review Grinch Guy's book, probably on the 15th of next month. But
all right, okay. We can just do that over on my channel, man.
Oh yeah,
that way we can
most definitely
have a protected space where we could just just lay waste to whatever.
Yeah. But I want to put that book on Hoss. My bad, Grinch, because I want to actually read a different book. I will do Grinch Guys. Like I want to read Reginald Walton's book. I mean, yeah, not Reginald Walton. That's a judge. Reginald Lewis.
Yeah. His book, why should white men have all the fun? That one?
Yeah. Because I read it before, but I want to go back over it also because
Oh, okay.
It's the first black billionaire from Baltimore, and like I think that'd be a cool read because basically the funny thing is that he's also ARC's fraternity brother. He went to Virginia State and Harvard, and this dude didn't have to take the bar. He didn't have to. No, he didn't have to. No, he had to take the bar. He didn't have to take the LSAT because he went up there on a visit to Harvard. He basically like proved to them he was like worthy to come to Harvard Law School and didn't have to take the LSAT. Like he was that type of dude, and I think that would be more fitting for basically after reading Mode 1 and show somebody who actually did it the right way, and he actually passed.
Oh yeah, sure.
And he actually passed away at 50. And he did it the right way. So I think I'm gonna go with that.
It is a waste because in order for him to be successful, this whole black race has to burn to the fucking ground and be consistently concentrated on hoes so that way he can have a fucking life, and I'd rather not have that.
Right.
Fuck that shit. All right, Lawrence. Got it. You still there?
You've been on mute the whole time.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, yeah, man. Got anything else? The last thing before we get up out of here?
There's a lot of things that I want to say, but I'm
Go
not.
ahead, man.
No.
Man. Like, what the fuck you mean?
No,
Lawrence. Like,
not.
nah, man.
It's
Like,
not.
nah, man. You holding out on?
Breathe fire.
It's not. It's not about holding out. It's about not being ready. And there's a time and a place for everything.
Oh, okay.
I will say this, and it's my motto all the time, every time. Men first.
Yeah, I agree. So. All right, GC, you got that stream up?
Yeah. I put the link in the chat room, and so did Jerome.
All right, cool. All right, man. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming through. You just gotta watch these people out here, man. You're not trying to fit everybody inside your life.
Can I get my last word, Timothy? I'm sorry, man.
Oh shit! Oh shit! My bad. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, you Chinese. You don't get no words.
I got no word. The only thing my last word was, Aegon, when are you reviewing Jack and the Beanstalk? That's all. That was it, Timothy. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me, brothers. Peace out, Pat.
Cool.
Peace. Thanks.
Yeah, it's just that, dude. At this point, you're not supposed to try to find room in your life for everybody. They have to fit within your life, man. And the problem that black men are having is being surrounded by a whole bunch of people who makes bowing down to the circumstances just for pussy some shit that should be needed. And this type of shit, you end up fucking your life up over. Your whole entire life ends up being fucked up over this goddamn concept. So we gotta be able to just keep being us and lock these people the fuck out. Lead the people who are concentrating on pussy, lead them there. You don't need them. The women and the fucking fence sitters, they're all the same person. And please make sure you listen to my Manosphere 4.0 video that's going to be dropping tomorrow at 8 a.m. I'm not lying about what I'm seeing. Monsters Inc. is back. All these motherfuckers are back trying to get everybody focused back on this fucking relationship shit. These people know what they fucked up within this environment. There's nothing that can fix this shit except for you getting your shit together so that way you can pick better quality. That's the only way this is going to be able to work. It worked for me. I don't care about these people around here. Yes, it's women all the time who try to reassert control over me like I'm one of their goddamn do-boys. And it's funny as fuck to see every goddamn time it happens. But to those dudes, those are choosing signals. So you got to be able to be better at this shit, man. And you have to choose which situations you put yourself into. So that way you can get more out of life. I want to thank the panelists for being here. And y'all like, share, comment, subscribe. And man, tomorrow y'all got some really nice day. All right? Later.
All right. Peace.
Peace.